It's a Sebon Podcast Show. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Everybody's welcome. Peace and love. It's a Sebon Podcast Show. Bam, we're live.
Bam, we're live. Hey, Sebby. Hey, Denise. Hey, Rambler. Hi, Marissa. Bray. Have I seen you before? Good morning. Chris, what's up, dude? Curious. Hey, where's my coffee? My coffee's right here. Rich, what's up, dude? Good morning. Oh, Marissa, happy birthday. 4th today. Happy Sunday. It's my birthday. Oh, I didn't even see that. Happy birthday. That's fun. Vittorio. Hi. Craig, what's up, dude? I went to a jiu-jitsu tournament yesterday. Oh shit. Wow. Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Is my mic on?
Yeah.
What's up with you? Did you just wake up?
No, I've been up for a few hours.
What time do you normally wake up? Like to go to work?
4 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So when we do the later shows that you've come on sporadically, those destroy you.
Yeah. Because I'm there until 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then I go back in PT until 6.
So if we do a 6:30 show West Coast time, that's 9:30 for you. If we stay on for 2 hours, that's 11:30. Oh my God. What time does your work? I use that term loosely. I know you're doing more than just work.
Starts at 5:30.
So you have why does it take you an hour and a half to get ready? Breakfast and all that shit?
So there's only one
shower
entry point.
No.
So I have to. So if I don't get there at a certain time, then it's a line that takes like 30, 45 minutes to get through.
Wow.
So I have to, and we have to be there at a certain time to like do work, study hall stuff.
Is there only? I'm not sure if it's a base or what you go on to, but are there more than one? Is there more than one entrance?
No, only one.
Oh my God.
So you have like a lot of people trying to get down through the same gate with like one.
What's the longest you've seen the line? 45 minutes sounds long. How long does it take to process someone? 1 minute? 2 minutes?
Not that long. Probably it's like 30 seconds. Probably less than that.
They like do they run your plates and your ID and shit like that? Multiple?
No, they just look at your military ID. But you have some people that they'll like fumble with their ID when they come up to the gate, and then like they haven't pulled it out yet and stuff like that.
Or so maybe someone doesn't. Maybe someone's like, is there a guest line that's separate than that line?
Yeah, but there aren't usually guests coming in at that time. It's usually just all us.
Have you thought about making a suggestion to the people in charge that like they at that time?
Yeah.
That, hey, 2 hours a day, maybe you open it up so
maybe we need to get another gate.
Yeah, just for a couple hours a day.
You know what?
Or you know how like they do it in and out. The guy walks down the line and starts taking orders.
Yeah, they should do. They have one person that does that, so sometimes it gets a little quick, but maybe I'll suggest that to them. I'll put that in the suggestion box.
So what you're doing there starts at 6. So a lot of times you get there like 30 minutes or an hour early just because you're on the wait line.
Right. So I'll go park and then I'll just sit in my car for like 30 minutes, drink my coffee, scroll through social media.
Just peruse CrossFit girls.
Yeah, just chill.
Hey, I saw did you see the Buttery so you know the Buttery Bros, Heber and Marge were at the games obviously this year. Right. And when all that shit went down with Lazar dying at the first event, both of them were there and they hung out there as long as anyone, right? Like a lot of people just left. They stayed. I stayed for probably like 2 hours. But they were still there. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm just throwing this in there. I'm gonna guess that they cried. Everyone cried a little bit. It was like up and down. It was like really intense. You know what I mean? Like I saw
Okay.
Brian Friend crying. I called my wife. I started crying, and then it would go away. Do you know what I mean? It would like come and hit you ferociously, and then it would just go away, and then it would come back. It was weird.
Right. Usually what happens when somebody dies, right?
Like that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you're vacillating between like your touch of your own mortality and, hey, where's my keys?
Right.
You
Like
know what I mean?
you still have like regular things to worry about.
Yeah.
Like,
Or
are
fuck
my
it. 100.
camera batteries charged? Like,
Yeah. It's
shit like
just a
that.
trip. Yeah. You're vacillating between normal life and the shock. But anyway, they were there and they were still filming stuff, you know, like fire trucks pulling up and ambulances, and they were interviewing people, and they interviewed me a few times. And so now they got this piece that, and you know, they've earned the right as much as anyone to film anything in the CrossFit space, right? They've given their time, their money, they've taken the risks, they fully immersed themselves, they know all the people. It's not like they're ambulance chasing. It's like, hey, that's what they've been doing for 15 years, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Like I know what it takes.
They have
Unless
relationships with everybody.
yeah, everyone.
Like friends
So
with them. Like they know them.
And their work shows it. They're fucking masters at their fucking craft. All their shit looks fucking amazing. It's consistent. Their numbers are high. I mean, it's like there's zero ambulance chasing in it. They've earned that right, and they've earned that trust in the community. You think that's fair depiction of who they are?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so recently they put up a video on their Instagram. It's not there anymore. It's gone. But they put up a video on their Instagram saying, you know, our piece on the tragedy of Lazar Jukic is coming out soon. Yeah. And I started reading the comments, and it made me realize, like, we live with just assholes.
What were they saying?
Like they were attacking them, saying that first they were saying that this was clickbait. First of all, it's not clickbait. It's just a traditional like post. Like they're probably getting close to publishing it, and it was just a traditional post like, hey, we have this piece coming out. You know what I mean? Let people know. There were people who were saying you shouldn't make money off the event, off the tragedy. They're not making money off of the tragedy. They're making money off of 15 years of fucking hard fucking work and dedication and commitment and love that they've poured into everything that they do. Heber has at least 2 kids. Marsden, I think Marsden's married. I'm sure he wants to have kids. It's just fucking wild to me, the shit that people, they pulled it down. I think, I don't think they
did.
Yeah. And I'm assuming they pulled it down because they didn't like getting the smoke, but I wanted to go to war for them in the comments. I wanted to just start fucking just like, you fucking assholes, mind your own business. You don't have to fucking watch it. You think that was fun for them to fucking make that piece?
You think it was fun for them to be there?
Yeah.
And like they have to sit in those feelings and like, I mean, just no, it's not. None of that's fun.
Blade Walker, I learned no matter what, someone's gonna be mad. There's things that I just don't understand.
Was there anybody in there?
Pardon me?
Was there anybody in there that was like, we can't wait to see this, or like?
Yeah. To be honest, it was like 50-50. But I don't think that the Buttery Bros, I don't think that they're used to like
just getting.
But the logical thing is like, hey, this must have been really fucking hard for you guys. Thanks for holding the camera still and bringing the story to us. This is going to be fucking fantastic. What a great remembrance of Lazar. Everything you guys have always made is respectful. Thank you. How about just that? Even if you, every single person in the chat makes money off of someone's death. Just because you don't fucking see it, you don't think someone died for you to make your buck today? You're crazy. It would be so easy to point to that.
Like somebody who works for an insurance company, or
someone who works for or lawyers make money off of people's misery, or every time you get in the car, you don't think, you know how many people die every year because from car accidents, or dying building cars, or from
like when I had to go pick up a dead body from a car accident, like money off of that.
How dare you?
I'm on the clock, dude.
How dare you?
I gotta go fucking pick up.
Did you have to do that when you were deployed? Pick a dead body off a?
Yeah, he got into a like pretty severe car accident.
One of your people.
not my people, but somebody, one of
Was it
an
was someone in the
American.
middle? Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's take one of your people.
one of my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Take two.
So, yeah, one of my people. He got into a pretty severe car accident. Car exploded. He got decapitated. I had to go out there with some people and pick him up and
Yeah, that
send
disgusts
him
me
back
that you make
stateside.
that disgusts me that you make money doing that and investing it in the Shadican, buying new carpet in the Shadican.
I can't do that shit for free. And
You use that guy's death.
For
You use that guy's death to make a doggy door.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I fucking
That
use that money to epoxy my floor.
That $13 you made that day, you used to buy a box cutter to cut in the side of the Shadican.
That's right. Paid for half a gallon of paint.
You guys out there who get offended by stuff, I'll use myself as an example. It's what makes you the most easily manipulated. The more they control you by what you're offended by. So, like, I'm offended by pedophiles being allowed to come into kids' schools and read to them. And so I can be manipulated by that. If I find out that there's someone running for office who doesn't want pedophiles in kids' schools reading to them, that's like I'm manipulated by that. So it's just
that makes sense.
Yeah. How are you offended by the Buttery Bros making something? It makes you such a bad person. Gino, the Buttery Bros just flat out worked their ass off. Yeah, I mean they were completely covered in like sweat, and they're carrying their cameras around always. And I was so disappointed. I looked at the post, and then I went into the comments, and then I just went back and forth. Like, do I want to? Like, I wanted to take all these people's names down and open it up on the show. Be like, fuck, you guys are such assholes.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would have kept it up. I would like to see the idiots of the world.
I sent them the last interview. Well, you know, Scott Vandersloot on the Froning podcast said that he has the last interview with Lazar Jukic, which is interesting because I was filming with him right as he was going to the line to line up. So I don't know if Scott actually went to the line. I mean, he's Mayhem's camera guy, but I don't think Lazar was Mayhem anymore.
No, I think they said that he left pretty much right as Roman came around.
Yeah,
he went back to his original coach in Serbia.
So now but anyway, so I was going to get confused by or get distracted by a comment in there. So I gave that footage to the Buttery Bros, and I hope that their video gets 12 million views and they make $10 million off of it. I hope to God for their hard work they get fucking filthy rich.
You think like it's providing good memories of Lazar too?
Yeah, all that.
Go back and look at that, and they remember him.
Everyone should be everyone should be happy. It's a historical record of what happened.
Right.
It might be painful to watch, but for some reason, Heber's kids shouldn't eat next month because you think that they shouldn't be fucking making money off of their craft. Next, people are going to be like, oh, they should donate all the proceeds from making that to Lazar's family. But how about Lazar's family pay them to make it? I mean,
sure.
You don't owe anyone anything. If you think that, you better have donated $1,000 yourself.
No, that's not for them. They don't have the money to do that. The rich people need to be donating all the money.
Athletes are starting to come out slowly with their media. Bethany Flores, Haley Adams, Ricky Garrard. I'm not seeing a lot of hate comments. They probably get some sort of pass.
You think the athletes do?
Yeah. I mean, for sure. I mean, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, they were there. You know, it's probably like for some reason the audience wants to hear them speak on it.
Yeah. Did you watch the Training Think Tank podcast with Travis and Perrin and Max?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. I like all those guys. Max, Travis, Perrin. They're cool.
CTP. Pretty cool.
CTP. Oh yeah. Did you see? I thought it was funny when CTP was like trying to get them to move along faster.
I saw that too.
I'm like, wow.
I was surprised that he interjected like that, but yeah, I respect it. It was funny because I had just finished watching. Whose was it? I think it was Rich's podcast, and like everybody just kind of like does that song and dance a little bit for the first 10-15 minutes. So they
right
like not really sure where to dive in, like how to kind of breach that subject. And when CTP is like, hey, let's get to it, like let's talk about Lazarus' death, and I was like, all right, like that was kind of cool. But I respected them like wanting to discuss their experience with it and how like just what they saw and how it went kind of for them. But it's like, really, we just won't. I want to know how they felt when they found out that Lazarus died.
Yeah, it's wild. They were what they were doing is like, you know, they were like, I mean, they prefaced it like this, the Training Think Tank guys, Perrin, Max and Travis and CTP, they were prefaced it by saying, hey, we're going to walk you through like the whole journey. And so basically they started like with driving there, and then, you know, they talked about getting their clothes and how all their clothes were too small, and they were kind of like, you know, they were being articulate and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But finally CTP's like, nah, let's just get to the part where Lazarus dies.
I think, I don't know why this bothers me so much, but when people say passed away or is no longer with us, or like vague statements like that, that bothers me. Like,
you mean like gender affirmation surgery is really just chopping off the penis off of little boys?
Yes, but
they don't say it.
They call it gender affirmation, or they call it transitioning, or whatever they want to call it.
Or they call abortion women's health care.
Women's health care, right?
Yeah.
So when people don't address the very specific what very specifically what happened, that kind of bothers me. So late, like when I've been watching these videos back, they're like, oh, he's passed away or whatever. It's like, no, he died, he's dead. Like, that's
horrible
what
death. Drowning sounds horrible too, doesn't
it? And
like
when
just a horrible death, and it's filmed by 200 cameramen who missed it themselves.
Right. And I can't really comprehend why. I think whenever we're taught, like, okay, how do you inform somebody of a death, or somebody like a family member that their family member has died, you're supposed to say those words, because then you're providing very specific verbiage as to what happened, and they're not like, oh, well, where'd they go, like what happened to them, like that kind of thing. So yeah, it was interesting.
You're saying that for some people it's okay, but for some it's not, in relationship to who died, their relationship to you. Like it's okay to say that. I'm not understanding exactly. You're saying it's okay, like if your dad were to die, you could say he passed away. Or no?
No, I think regardless if somebody dies, you tell them that they died.
Right.
You say that they died.
My wife was pregnant, and the baby was 6 months old, and we decided we didn't want it. So a doctor put forceps into her vagina and ripped the baby out of her limb by limb.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck. Oh my God. Did you really do that? Uh-huh. Cost us $1,800. Oh.
Right. All we had to do was walk past protesting Catholics outside the.
Yeah. Christians. We went to go have our baby dismembered in our wife's stomach, and there were these fucking crazy people outside who were talking to us, telling us, you know, there's other ways. Those assholes.
That's right. Yeah.
That's that part also is weird. I fully understand women's the body thing. Like I fully get that. I embrace that. You should have complete autonomy over your body. But at the same way that, like, you have to also understand that it's a pretty noble, there's a lot less noble things to do on planet Earth than try to save babies from being murdered. I mean, that's a pretty fucking noble cause.
Yeah.
How do you get mad at those people? Jake Chapman, always with the solutions. Anal solves all of this.
Yeah, sure.
Are Christoph and Gabby still a couple? I don't know. I'm curious too. Very curious.
There you go, Olivia.
It needs to be clear to those that lost a loved one because their brain is in shock mode.
Yeah, something like that. Like it needs to be articulated.
Look at that picture of her.
She always has great profile pictures.
Yeah. I'd like to get that one poster size.
Can I get a fat head of that and put it in my RV?
In my spank bank. You guys probably, most of you probably know this story, but many, many years ago when Avi was 3 years old, I took him into a jiu-jitsu studio where the minimum age of training was 5 years old. And I told the guy there, I said, hey, my kid's 3 and I want to sign him up. And they're like, we only do 5. And I'm like, no, my kid's crazy advanced. Fuck you. They're like, okay. So he takes the class in 15 minutes. He's crying hysterically. And I'm like, oh, I get.
That's why we wait till 5.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I guess my kid's not advanced. Tuck my tail between my legs. I leave. I come back a year later. I put my kid in the class. He's 4 years old. And the class is a 30-minute drive to the jiu-jitsu class and a 1-hour drive home because of traffic. It's not far away from me either. It's like 7 miles, right? It's close. But it's in this narrow corridor that's stuck between mountains and the Pacific Ocean. Real narrow. So the traffic's just insane, right? And it's in a small town that's pretty isolated called Santa Cruz, California, but it's also very, very close, 17 miles away from Silicon Valley, 70 miles away from San Francisco. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people who pass through there. So it's a serious commitment to take him to that jiu-jitsu class every day. And the class is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And so I take him there Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 3 months. So what is that? That's 12. That's 36 classes. And the class is an hour long. And the first 15 minutes is a warm-up. So my son only does the warm-up for the first 15 minutes for 36 classes. Now I've driven, I've stayed there an hour, and the drive is an hour and a half. That's 2.5 hours a day times 36 days. I've spent, 4 days of my life there, right? Something like that, over 72 hours, some shitload amount of time. And, but he's only doing 15 minutes of the class, and then he refuses to do the technique and anything past the warm-up. And the reason why he tells me is because he doesn't want anyone touching him. He's not interested in touching people, especially the adults. And I'm like, yeah, I don't blame you. I get that. So, but I tell him, hey, you still just have to sit on the mat. It's totally fine. And he's totally fine with it. So, hour of class, he does the 15 minutes of warm up, and then he just sits there for 45 minutes, on his knees and watches the class. So one day, the owner of the gym, Garth Taylor, who's an absolutely amazing human being, Garth Taylor was the first whitey to win the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu National Championships. He was always taking second place. Then he ran into Greg Glassman in 2000, and Greg's like, you should do CrossFit. And after doing CrossFit for a little while, he went back to Brazil and he won the super heavyweight title in Brazil in their sport. Guys white as can be. And so, he, after 3 months of my kids doing this, Garth comes over to him and he says, hey, do you know who Batman is? And my son says, yes. And he said, did you know Batman trains jiu-jitsu? And Avi's face lit up. And I didn't even know Avi knew who Batman was. I had no idea he knew who Batman was.
Everybody knows who Batman is.
And that was it. He was off to the races. He started doing jiu-jitsu and then eventually his twin brothers, who are 2 years older than him, they got into jiu-jitsu. And so they've been doing fighting. Now they do jiu-jitsu, striking, kicking. They do all of it. And they do it on average more than 5 hours a week. A 10-hour week of fighting is not uncommon for them.
Wow.
Of structured fighting. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturdays for sure, every single week.
Fuck.
So this past weekend we went to our 12th tournament, which might sound like a lot, but it's really not a lot because there are so many fucking tournaments. And so we went to our 12th tournament in, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. And my son Joseph had never maybe he had done one tournament like 2 years ago, but I'd signed him up for the last 10 tournaments, and we would get there and he would cry. And he would say,
Really?
he would say, "Hey, I don't want to do the tournament." And he's really good. Like he's really, really, really good. He's freakish good. And I would be like, and I would just always say, "Okay." And I would just be like, "Well, there goes another $150
Yeah.
down the, you know what I mean? Down the drain." So I've lost $1,200 in jiu-jitsu tournament fees. So this week, so yesterday, about a month ago, when I signed the kids up for the tournament, Joseph's like, "Oh, I'm really excited about this." And I'm like, "What? Is this just bullshit? Is he just giving me lip service?" And so yesterday we're driving there, and I'm just like watching him like a hawk. I'm like, "Well, when are the tears going to come? When is he going to say he's not going to do it?" And whenever he would say he wouldn't do it, I would always go, "I love you, baby. You just got to keep your gi on in case you change your mind." Give him a big hug. I'm like, "You don't have to do it. Like, I don't blame you. You know, it looks scary as shit to go out there. There's 1,000 or 2,000 people screaming. You're in this mat. Everyone's watching you. It's fucking nuts. And then you have to fight this other kid in front of all these people."
Yeah.
And yesterday we go there, and and they're getting in the corral, getting ready to go out. And his other brother walks over to me, Ari, his twin brother, and he goes, "Hey, if Joseph actually does this tournament, I will be unstoppable." And I thought that was interesting. I haven't asked him what he meant by that. So the tournament starts, and him and Joey are having fun, and they're loose, and they're doing jumping jacks in the corral, and they get out there, and they just fucking, the two of them first in the gi. There's two separate tournaments kind of going on. There's gi, that's the one you fight in the pajamas, and then there's no gi, which is just like fighting, like just like in your street clothes, right? Pair of shorts and a shirt. And they just go out there and they just fucking demolish everybody.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know, it's so crazy. And I was like, fuck, and it's been so it's been a hoe, right?
Yeah. When was the last time they went to, like, you signed them up for a tournament? Was it like,
I mean, Ari goes to tournaments all the time. Ari's been, he goes to a tournament, 2 to 4 times a year, right? And he goes and he always kicks ass. And so is Avi. But Joseph, like, and there's always like 1 or 2 kids there who will beat them. But this time they went there, and the both of them went, and they just mopped kids up. And it was crazy too. I felt sorry for some of the other kids because there were some really good kids there, and they'd have to fight like Ari, and then their next match they'd have to fight Joseph. And it's like basically like fighting just the same dude twice. I mean, it's crazy.
You're like, I thought I just fought this guy.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's funny.
Yeah. And then my youngest son, so after the tournament, so the tournament starts early. We leave at 8 in the morning. We get home at the tournaments. We're done with the tournament like at 3 in the afternoon. We go out to dinner with another family. They come over to the house, and now it's 9:30 at night, right? And we're finally, and I tell Ari, I'm like, "Hey, dude, jump in the shower real quick, and then I'll put you to bed." And he goes, "Hey, will you soap me?" I'm like, "Sure." So he goes in there, and he's in the shower, and we're talking, and I start soaping him, and his fucking calves and his quads and everything was just huge. Like I had never felt them before. And I'm soaping his back and his chest, and everything I can tell is, and he hasn't rolled now in 8 or 9 hours. And it reminded me of Devin Lorette told me one time that when you go to battle, you have like adaptations that are like steroidal adaptations. Like you give me a fucking gun and tell me I'm going out there to fight some dudes, and my testosterone fucking just skyrockets. It's like the craziest workout. And I realized at that point, oh shit, he went out there, had a massive dose of fucking adrenaline, and then competed against some kid where every muscle fucking tightened up and got loose and tightened up probably fucking 1,000 times, in the 8 matches he had. And I could like feel it in his body. It was awesome. The whole,
Wow.
yeah, it was crazy. There's something about competition I mean, that I don't know about, but that I can, but that I witnessed.
You can see the adaptation. You can see like the results of what he did. That's really cool.
Yeah, in one match, he was just like, I'm showering. I'm like, holy fuck, he like, yeah, it was nuts. It was absolutely nuts. And he said, he said, all the boys said when they came home, oh, we're sore all over. And it's just from going to 0 to fucking 1,000, right?
Right. Yeah, you never hit that when you're just working out normally.
Just training.
Just training. Yeah.
Yeah. The first match he had was against some kid with a Russian name. You know what I mean? Like something
Evgeny.
Yeah, Popov Omnomov, you know, and the parents didn't speak English. He was I think I'm trying to think, he may have been the only other white kid there. Not a lot of white people there.
Communist plant.
And I was like, I was terrified of just his name.
Then you get out there and he just fucking whoops his ass.
Yeah, it was all well. That first kid, he just stood around. My son didn't know what the fuck was going on. I mean, he still won. He scored the points.
It's like, why are you not engaging with me?
Here's a clip of, this is good. I was wondering if I posted this. Here's the example of how easily people who are offended. This is how easy people are manipulated. I don't know if you guys remember. This guy was on the show. He was great. Will Roche. I think he's a elementary school teacher. It's funny. He gave really, really balanced reporting. But I think even he's getting a little scared by the wackadoodleness of the Dems now.
As it's family day, so I'm just jumping to my office real quick just to say this. I had a bunch of transgender people in the podcast, including detransitioners like Chloe Cole. Okay, when you say your child will commit suicide if they go down, pathway A, parents blindly follow pathway B. Blindly, it's like anything other than that.
Right. So that's the Dems playbook, right? If you don't do this, climate change is going to kill you. If you don't get the shot, COVID's going to kill you. If you don't chop off your son's penis, he's going to commit suicide. Right. It always goes to like, hey, or else someone's going to die.
And it's the most extreme or else.
Yeah.
Well, just have the sniffles and like just feel like shit for a couple days.
Right.
When you have an entire apparatus structured around the dangers of Donald Trump, okay? Even if you don't like Trump, the idea that he is such an existential threat and must be stopped at all costs, otherwise the entire world will collapse, which is what people say. You blindly go with whatever is the other option. The Democrats know that. They control that narrative, and now they will give you what they want because the alternative is so bad. People will just go, like Bill Maher says, I'll just take a jar of blue goo. I'll take anything over Trump. And when you know that people will take anything over that pathway and it's a binary system, then they can control you so much in who's in charge. What's up, guys?
That's it. We've scared you so much about Donald Trump. And we've seen all the interviews. They can't say one reason why they don't like him. They've scared you, or they make up shit. You know what I mean? That it's going to be like a totalitarian regime. He's not going to leave office. They try to tell you that January 6th is an insurrection, even though you can just watch the video and see it's not.
It's not even a fraction as bad as what they did during.
We're going to take away your freedom of speech, and we're going to take your kids, and we're going to force you to take drugs. And we're going to put tampons in the kids' bathrooms, and we're going to allow men into girls' sports, and we're going to leave the border open, and we're going to give away all of your money that you make, your tax dollars, to illegal aliens to encourage more to come. All that stuff it's still better than whatever fear we've wrapped around you. And that's the offended part, right? They're so offended by Donald Trump that they can be fucking manipulated to do anything.
Right.
Sevi, am I blocked? I can't donate. I don't know. I don't know. No one would block you.
I just fixed that, Ken. You should be good.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for speaking up. Everyone donate. I think I got a notice from Amazon saying that James's couch is on the way.
Wow, already?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's cool.
Yeah. I see you now, Ken.
I see you.
I guess the keeping it real guy, one of the wrenches blocked him or something.
Oh, do you want me to go in and unblock him?
I think Sousa did it.
Really?
So the boys had a tennis tournament today, and it's like 2 hours. Or the boys are supposed to have a tennis tournament today, and it's 2 hours away. And then the twins had no one to play. No other kids signed up. So now Avi's just going, and so I'm staying home with the twins. By the way, so I know I said I wasn't going to do a show today, but at the last minute I was like, "Fuck it, I can do a show."
Shit. Okay.
So here I am, and I have so many little clips to go through. Seema sent this to me. This was really cool. Oh, Sprague's couch. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
Seema sent this to me. Now I know why so many fucking girls like me. I mean, I think I already knew. Definitely wasn't from my body. But she sent this to me the other day. This is awesome. Oh shit. Look at the first comment. I'm not even gonna play this clip for you. And I want to read you the first comment. The first comment's from a girl with a dog.
Okay.
And just think about that stereotypically. It's a girl with a dog. For those of you who don't know, girls who with dogs are girls who need babies. Like my wife was obsessed with our dog, and then she had a baby. It's like a beginner's kit. You know what I mean? It's like that first plastic baseball glove you get your little kids. It's like a little starter kit.
Yeah, you got to see if you can actually handle having a kid.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, all those people who are obsessed with their dogs, they just like you guys know them. Right away, I can think of 3 women right now off the top of my head who don't have kids, who are in their 40s, who are obsessed with their dogs, like weird obsessed.
40s? Oof. Good luck, buddy.
Okay, but this chick says, can we stop using the word provider and just use the word partner? Women don't need to be provided for. Just so you know, on behalf of all men, we all need to be provided for.
Yeah.
So you fucking weirdo. Like you have a problem.
Okay.
We want partners that show up and support us. Oh, that sounds like provide. They're providing support.
Oh, interesting.
In the same way that we show up and support them. No, we want different support than we give you. Okay, here we go.
Women are attracted, generally speaking, the research shows, to men based on 3 reasons. The third is kindness. They don't want someone who's going to be a good person. They're impressed by men who are good to their parents and kind and go out of their way to help people when there's no reciprocal expectation.
Yeah, that's a good one. How people treat their parents. Hey, how they treat their exes too.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Because some couples, like they get really upset. I've seen it like a woman will be really mad at a man who's still nice to his ex, and it's like, I can understand being jealous of that or being threatened by that. I'm not saying that that's like inappropriate, but if your current boyfriend or husband like hates his ex, remember that can be you. You're only a month away from that.
You still talk to your ex at all?
You think that's bad?
It's probably bad.
Not good. I don't talk to any of my exes, but I did for a long time before I was married.
Oh, really? Yeah. I know.
But I don't now.
That's why they're my exes.
Couch fun. Oh, thank you. $10 for the Sprague couch from the shiz. I got a cool video of a chick with a one leg I could send you. Yeah, I like chicks with one leg. Okay. Yeah. So nice guys. They nice. Number 3 is nice guys.
The second is intelligence, because the smarter you are, the more likely you are to make good decisions and protect your family's offspring. And by the way, the fastest way to communicate intelligence is humor. I've always said if you can make a woman laugh, you can kiss her.
Wow.
And then the most important thing, though, to women, and people don't like to admit this, is the man's ability to signal future resources. It's not even he has to be rich now, but he has to have his act together such that he looks like he will be a decent provider. And the number of men we're producing that qualify in this category is shrinking. Women are attracted.
So that makes perfect fucking sense.
The last part, or you mean just all of it?
The last part, like if you're going to, if you're a woman and you at some point you're going to need 9 months down to grow a baby,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't even have to know that biologically. That's like your purpose, right?
Right.
And you better be thinking about provider.
Yeah, unless you want
better,
to work the whole 9 months that you're pregnant.
Yeah, and then you need another fucking 10 years to fucking raise the kid.
Right.
Yeah, you better have someone who can fucking like make sure the roof's not leaking and they're bringing food. They're running out the front door and bringing like, a steak back.
Yeah, for sure.
I think certain cultures have that down. I remember Greg told me one time that the reason why Jews are so successful is they find intelligence sexy.
Is that not a normal thing?
I don't know, but I mean, there's so many fucking smart and successful Jews, and it seems like those women bang those dudes.
That makes sense.
Did you see the clip of the lady saying that Doug Emhoff and Tim Walz are great for the Democratic Party, basically, because they appeal to men who aren't laden with testosterone? The CNN lady basically said that the guy who's running for vice president and Kamala Harris's husband appeal to men who aren't laden with testosterone. I looked up the word laden. It means filled.
So low T soy betas, is that what they call them these days?
I saw an interview with the DNC of this super hot blonde chick, right? And this guy walks up to her and he goes, "Hey, so," and she's a member of the Democratic National Party, and he walks up to her and he goes, "Hey, so are there a lot of cute guys here?" And she starts laughing and she's like, "No," she's like, "That's the joke in Washington D.C. There's no attractive Democrat men. There's no men who are attractive." So then the interviewer goes, "Are you saying that Republican men are more attractive?" And she's like, "Yeah, but they're all evil."
Okay.
Hey, that's where the premise is. If you work out, you become more conservative. Like all of that makes more sense, right?
Yeah.
Like if you work out, there's so few, you're so much more capable so quickly.
Right, and you're not a fat piece of shit or like skinny fat piece of shit.
Yeah, your whole perception of the world changes as you're more capable.
Right. You see things at a different light when you're capable of doing things instead of just being stuck sitting at a buffet table scarfing down food all the time.
You know when you put stuff in your trash can you're not supposed to do, like you fill the whole first half bottom of it with dirt because you got to throw some dirt away and you have nothing, and there's some broken pieces of concrete, and then on top of it you put your garbage, and then you go to move your fucking trash can and it's heavy as shit and you got to move it fucking 100 yards because you brought it onto the other side of your property or something.
Right.
Like there's a group of us men who are up for that challenge. We're like, oh, this is going to be fun.
Right.
We'll even go the long way. And then there's a group that just aren't. They're like, fuck.
Because
this is
to
too
call
heavy.
Somebody else to do this job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
It's
the amount of things that I can do on my own is,
and that you enjoy doing, and you're up for the challenge.
Right. Like if I wasn't capable, I wouldn't be able to live here and do all the things that I'm doing at the moment. Like there's so many like I have to walk like half a mile to throw the trash away. I gotta walk another half mile to do my laundry. And I have to carry that basket all the way over there to fucking
right. And you're up for the challenge. When your forearms start burning, you're like, oh, this is cool. It's not bad.
Sick. Now I got a sweet bicep pump. My forearms are engorged, laden.
It's like it's the joke of like carrying all the bags of groceries in one trip. Like you're up for the fucking challenge. You're pumped. You're excited about it.
But also, if I know that I can make multiple trips if I need to.
Right.
Like if I can't carry all that, like if I go to Sam's Club and I get 2 cases of water and a case of C4 and a fat fucking thing of steak, I know I can carry the 2 cases in one trip and I can carry the rest in a second.
I always ask for a cardboard box.
Oh, I get some too, but not everything can fit in a cardboard. Like I'm not gonna put a
Right.
case of water in a cardboard box. You know?
Do you know why I asked for a cardboard box?
Why?
Because the bags they charge you 25 cents.
Oh yeah, I don't even get a bag. I just throw it all back in my cart, back in the car.
It's fucking crazy. Aaron Fraser, James Couch Fund. Thank you. That's really sweet of you. Thank you. We got him a cool couch.
Doesn't pull out though.
He doesn't pull out?
Yeah, something like that.
Caleb washes his long johns in a creek.
Dude, I'm about to. I don't have the change machine's broken. How am I supposed to make change?
When I wake up in the morning, I put long johns on.
Okay.
And I do the show in long johns. And so yesterday, right after the show, I got off the show, I pulled on some pants, and I went to the jiu-jitsu tournament. And the tournament had thousands of people inside this really small auditorium, like a high school basketball gym. And fucking dude, within like 20 seconds, I smelled like I smelled so fucking bad. I smelled like the dirtiest Armenian you've ever smelled. It was crazy. I asked my wife, I'm like, do I smell? She's like, oh yeah.
Like
and I knew
smell or like armpit smell.
Armpit smell. Like I just reeked of BO, dude.
Oh god.
Like if I went like this, like I could smell it. Like if I waved at it was crazy. And I was in there for like 5 hours next to all these jiu-jitsu moms and people. I felt horrible for it.
They're probably cool with it though, right? Like geese fucking reek, dude.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
They all stink. Like it's like hockey parents, right? Like they have all the gear and it's just sweaty and gross. You can't wash it the right way, and then
it's like sour smelling, like yeasty.
Yeah, like it's just like a fucking dude's locker room all the time. Like they got to be cool with it, right?
Man, it was bad. One lady came up to me, and I don't know if I'm just paranoid. I don't think I am. One lady came up to me. The kids were standing in line to like at the mat 6 line, and then I told all the kids in the line. I heard over the intercom, mat 6 kids moved to mat 3. So there's all the kids in my and you know, I don't even know half the kids, but I go, hey kids, and they all turn around. I'm like, move to mat 3, and so they all march over there. And I'm behind like an area. I'm like behind. They're in the corral. I can't go over there, so I have to yell at them like 20 feet to yell at them to move. And I'm just standing there. And one of the moms comes up to me and she goes, "Oh, are they switching mats?" And I turn to her. I go and I lift my arm up, and she's like right here, and she immediately took 2 steps back.
Oh man, dude.
I'm like, fuck.
I will say, so I tried using the deodorant that I used to use was like just used to make my armpits like really. It started making my armpits really irritated. Like you know how you get those like really annoying like zits in your armpits. And then I got a different kind of deodorant and I started using it, and the same thing happened. And so now I'm like, well, I'm not gonna wear fucking deodorant anymore.
Yeah. How old are you?
29.
I think I stopped wearing deodorant in my 20s somewhere.
Really?
I've had the same stick of deodorant for like 20 years.
Okay. So
I bought a stick when I went to Texas this last time, but I forgot to use it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm around a bunch of smelly, fucking sweaty dudes all the time anyway.
Yeah.
So it's probably not that big of a deal. But dude, I fucking reek. I can smell it so bad.
Yeah,
and I do not enjoy that smell either.
Usually my wife really likes my smell. Like she'll come over and she'll actually like breathe me in. But this time I was like, do I smell? She's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, hey, I want to fuck you. It was like, oh, you smell like garbage. Grant Hooper, $20 for the James couch. Thank you. James is getting married. We went to his registry the other day and we bought I think it was the most expensive thing in his registry. Bribing to be unblocked. Don't know why it happened. Oh.
Well,
can you look up Grant Hooper?
Well, he can't be blocked because he's donating and commenting.
Yeah. Where are you blocked?
Talking about.
I blocked a dude on my Instagram yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, I don't do that very often.
Why? What happened?
I'll show you. I'll show you. Sevon Matosian. so many people are sending me screenshots of my Instagram account. Like if you try to tag me or follow me, you get this like fucked up message.
Oh boy.
Saying like, hey, don't follow this dude. He's fucking bad.
He's a lunatic.
Yeah. I posted this. Okay, here we go. This is okay, here we go. Listen to
White identity, certainly in the South, but in a lot of other places in the country, was dependent on keeping blacks down.
White identity, especially in the South, was dependent on keeping blacks down. Now, remember, you guys have to know, there was not a single Republican slave owner. And it was 1.4% of the Democrats in the South owned all the slaves. Remember that.
Okay.
And then also remember, there's been way more white slaves in the history of the planet than there have been black slaves. But she's speaking specifically, there was a time in the period of the United States of America that white identity was part of it, that the Democrats, and especially those 1%, were their identity was based, or part of their identity was keeping blacks down and keeping them as caged animals and as slaves. Now, also remember, it was the whites in the South called the abolitionists who ended up winning the war and got the slaves free. So that, remember, that team won. And they lost like over 400,000 white dudes for that. If it's important to you to know the skin color of people.
Sure.
And for this story, I guess it kind of is important because they were enslaving people based on the melanin in their skin. Okay, so here we go.
The reality today, Marissa, is black privilege, not white privilege. I will believe
The reality today is black privilege, not white privilege.
Okay.
I see black privilege. I've seen black privilege my whole life growing up in the Bay Area. That's why it didn't make any sense to me. The whole movement didn't make sense to me. It took me for a while to get my head wrapped around it. And what do I mean by black privilege? I mean, like, if I crossed the street in Berkeley jaywalking, I would get a ticket. Black people wouldn't. Black people were allowed into schools with a different criteria into colleges than white people. Everyone went out of their way to be extra nice to black people in the Bay Area. It was like that. They were like hot chicks. Everyone was like trying to just like accommodate them.
Yeah. Okay.
in white privilege, the first time I see a black student put his race down as white when he's applying to college because he thinks that being white will give him an advantage. If you're a heterosexual white male today, you are the last person that's going to be admitted to medical school, to law school. You will need SATs, LSATs, MCAT scores, the medical college admissions tests that are 100%, 200% better than black students.
And so that's just a straight. Oh, it's echoing. Is it echoing? Fuck echoing.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
it echoing?
I didn't think it was, but I think it is actually.
That doesn't make any sense. Grant, are you unblocked, Grant? I did absolutely nothing. The only thing I'm guilty of is talking too much. I've never said anything controversial. I've never even seen your name before, dude. I don't think you've talked too much. Erica, Sprague's Couch. Sprague's Couch one. Thank you. So that's true. I know a dozen people who didn't get a job or were told that they were white. And what's funny is that Caleb and I have a friend who recently didn't get a job because he was a man, even though his bosses told him he was more qualified for the job. And this dude couldn't believe that it fucking happened. Like, when it happens to you, you're in shock because you're just like, wait, what? How can that be? Yeah. And this dude was in shock. Do you remember he was in shock? He was like, holy shit. Even though we've talked about it.
Couldn't believe it was real. Like, it actually, like that actually happens. Yeah.
Right. And that job wasn't like being like an elementary school teacher, which which is predominantly women, or it wasn't like a pole climber for PG&E, which is predominantly men. It was just like a nondescript job. It would be like being a cashier somewhere. It was weird.
Yeah.
If you presented their qualifications, you would be automatically rejected. But to be perfectly honest, what also needs to happen is a sea change in inner city culture.
So now she's saying there needs to be a change in inner city culture.
What? Okay.
If every Black parent acted like an Asian parent with the same fanatical attention to their children's doing homework.
And now you have to accept the fact that she's just generalizing huge now, right? Which is okay. She's just generalizing huge. Look at Asians make twice as much as whites. Whites make twice as much as blacks on the whole, like in the United States. That's where we're at financially.
Okay.
And so what she's saying is that it has nothing to do with skin color. It has to do with culture. It has to do with how you're raised.
Okay.
That doesn't seem controversial to me at all, or racist, or bigoted, or it doesn't seem like it. I don't know how that's triggering to someone at all. I guess I do see how it's triggering if you have it conflated between somehow the culture is. I don't know. It's weird.
It's because a white person's saying it, not a black person.
Yeah, maybe.
Taking textbooks home, the skills gap would go away, and the whole DEI complex, which is simply about making excuses for Black underperformance and saying the problem is racism rather than something that is more difficult to tackle.
Yeah, do you get so the left wants to point at it as a color issue, and this lady wants to point at it as a cultural issue. But you have to be fucking absolutely retarded if you think that it's a color issue, in the sense that if somehow you're born with darker skin, you're not as smart as someone born with white skin.
Right.
You could swap if you gave all the Asians this hillbilly culture, that they call black culture, but which Thomas Sowell has already explained to us over and over that, hey, it's not black culture, it's hillbilly culture that they adopted, Appalachian culture. If you gave that to fucking Asians and then took Asian culture and gave it to the melanated people, the change would be like instantaneous. How does someone argue that?
Yeah.
You could turn the black people into Jews overnight and the Jews into black people. Culturally speaking, it would be so easy.
Change how they live their lives, but they don't want to do that.
Tackle, it would all go away. The wide.
So some guy came in the comments and just started blasting me.
Really?
I didn't understand what he was. I didn't understand all of his comments, but he made 3 comments, and they were sort of like one was like, hey, your mom paid for your college. Hey, you were a college dropout. Like, he started like just talking about like somehow I had privilege. I think that's where he was going with it. But then ass blasting me. No. Have fun. Ass blasting me. But then I went to his account and he doesn't even follow me.
Oh, so it's just some guy scrolling through his explore page and he found you.
Or just some asshole. I think he was a CrossFitter. I clicked on his name. So I just was like, fuck you. You're not going to just come here and make ambiguous statements. And I blocked him. I'm like, get out of here. And then when you blocked him, all his comments went away.
That's sad.
Anyway, I thought it was a very valid point she made.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Yeah. Hey, if you took you could swap black out for anything. If that bothers you, just use white. You could if you got rid of white culture and gave them the Asian culture. Keeping it real. Out of joy of being unblocked the last few days, I've been in the dark. $20. Thank you. That'll go to James Sprague's couch fund. I wonder why you were blocked.
I know.
Bob, the irony that Sowell's name is Tom is humorous. Not correct. I never even thought about that. That is funny. I don't know. White people provide for their children. I mean, I don't know. I bet you half the white people don't provide for their children. How about you mean provide, like give them Mountain Dew in their baby bottle? How about when How about when Bill Clinton said he's jealous of Kamala because he held the record for the president who spent the most time in McDonald's? Did you see that on his DNC speech? Yeah. He said, and I'm jealous of Kamala because I held the record for the president who spent the most time in McDonald's, and she's going to beat that.
That's an accomplishment.
It makes me just think, wow, these people are completely oblivious to the state of fucking affairs that we're fucking in right now in this fucking country. Hey, another thing that makes me realize how out of touch I am is how they keep talking about big pharma and about pharmaceutical costs. And of course, none of that resonates with me because I don't know anyone I don't know anyone who's in the, you know what I mean? I don't know anyone who's addicted to pharmaceutical drugs or who's on them or who needs them or the cost of insulin. Somehow the cost of insulin is how is that I don't even know one person with type 2 diabetes. Caller, hi.
What's up?
What's up?
How you
Hey,
doing?
I have really good news for you.
Oh shit. What's the good news?
If the price of insulin, if you vote for Kamala, the price of insulin is going to drop.
Really? I have no idea how that affects me, but that's a fact.
Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, that's great. It means you can still eat Snicker bars and shit.
Oh, cool.
Sweet. I'll have to start eating Snicker bars first.
Hey, I had that guy on the show who came, Gabe, who came into my studio, the guy who set the world record, and he drank Paper Street coffee. I made him coffee. He came over really early, and the night before, I'm like, hey, do you want me to have a cup of coffee for you? He's like, yeah. And halfway through the podcast, he's like, what kind of coffee is this?
Nice.
I know.
That's awesome.
I was stoked. I was stoked.
Kind of just my pants a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm so spoiled. It's how I start every morning. I'm like, fuck you. This is my life. Sevi life.
A lot of people start their mornings like that. There was a competition yesterday here, a local competition that we did. And it was cool seeing, you know who came out? Garrett. And shoot, I already forgot her wife's name.
Oh, Colleen. Colleen. Oh.
Yes. Colleen and Garrett came out.
Oh, that's
in
cool.
Person. They're huge.
Like,
they're so tall.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, I think she was a basketball player. Colleen's tall too. Colleen's tall too.
Equally as tall. I was so surprised. I'm like, oh my god, both of them are giants in like a good way though. They're so nice. They're like beautiful human beings. So it was nice meeting them in person and talking to them.
You sound like a guy who hasn't been sleeping too much lately.
Yeah, man. Fucking baby popped out. Sleep is a thing of the past.
Do you have the baby at home?
We tried, man. We tried.
No, I don't mean did you have the baby at home? I mean, do you have it at home now?
Yeah, it's home. It's home. Yeah, we tried a home birth. My wife was laboring for like almost 48 hours at home, and the baby was just too big. He didn't descend. She was almost fully dilated. He just never descended. Yeah. So it was either she tries to rest, which wasn't happening because once contractions started, she started getting contractions for 36 hours every 10 minutes for 36 hours. So no sleep, nothing. So we had to go to the hospital, which completely messed up our plan. But the doctor that we had was such a good doctor.
Awesome.
The delivery doctor was
I love hearing that.
Yeah, she owns like her own like midwifery practice and also her own birthing center. So it was good to have a doctor like that, especially when you plan to be in the comfort of your own home with your dogs, with your own environment, and life throws you a different curveball.
How old's the baby right now?
5 days.
Yeah. Have you reached? So I think that you're at the point now is like you can't imagine life before even, right? Is it already like, yep, we have a baby?
Dude, it's obviously, and everyone that has a kid knows it's life-changing. For the dad, it's a little bit different, right? For the mom, like she's been with the baby for 9 months.
Right.
But for me, the second I heard him cry, I was like, oh, okay, cool. There goes. My life has changed. I instantly went into like, all right, no one can like fuck with this kid right now.
It's so crazy. I just remember all of a sudden, like with a few days after we had the baby, I was just thinking, oh, I can't even really remember. I can't even fathom a life without a baby now. It was like so quick. There was no there's no break-in period. All of a sudden, you're just wait till it starts calling you dad, dude, and it turns you into just like a full dad. They just like spellcasters. They just change you into it. It's so cool.
That's gonna be fucking awesome. You know who met the baby?
Who?
Colton.
Who?
Colton.
Oh, no shit. Did you love that?
Yeah, dude, it's a big baby. It's almost as big as me.
Hey, dude, I was so excited that my kids got to meet Colton Merton. It was like there's these people like in your life, like I'm so excited they're going to get to meet Taylor. I was excited when they got to meet Tyson Bagent. But Colton came to the house the other day, and when he was on the West Coast, and we went and flew drones together, and it was so cool. It's so fun. Even at that age, wasn't it nice just letting your kid know, look there's the Colton Mertens. You're like, you already feel like a good parent, like you're doing something good. It's an easy way to score points.
Well, I feel horrible because we had this plan, and I'm like, Colton, is it okay? Like, I have to go to the doctor again with the baby. I have to like head out early because of the baby.
Was he staying at your house? Was he at your house?
Oh no, I would not do that to him. Fuck no.
Were you supposed to go to dinner or something with them, and you had to go do baby shit, or I'm not following the story.
No, the first day, so I pick him up from the airport, and it's New York, so it takes, I would say, like a 30-mile drive to 2.5 hours.
Right. Ouch.
To get to my house. And from there, I had to go to the doctor. So I said, hey, Colton, here's my garage. Just work out. And then because of traffic and just life, it took 3 hours. So Colton was just at my house by himself in my group with my wife's grab. Man, we're just chilling. I was like, yo, here's a credit card. Get whatever you want. I'll be back. And just a good dude all around.
Yeah, he's so easy. He's a great guest.
He was so cool seeing all the people like come up to him at the competition. Like, I don't know if a lot of people knew he was going to be in Jersey at the competition we did. It was super local, really, really like small. But it was cool. Just people coming up to him talking shit to people that were wearing Kill Taylor shirts.
Oh, that's awesome.
Everyone saying, oh, I can't wait to see what you guys do when you guys go head to head.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome at the NorCal Classic. Yeah. Oh shit, Colton looks strong. Jesus criminy. Oh yeah, look, you can see everyone staring at him. That's awesome. What's the best part?
Everyone stopped. Like the second that he was going, everyone stopped. So just to have like a games caliber athlete just show up to somewhere, it means a lot to like a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it was just seeing that. It was just like everyone just, it was awesome. I don't know how he felt, but I felt like, damn, that's super cool.
Yeah, that's crazy cool. Oh, by the way,
why I came there. Like, I'm here to see Gabe, dude.
Is he with you right now?
Yeah, man, he's in the car with me.
Oh shit. I was like, did that come from the clip that fucking Caleb just played on Instagram? I'm like, I just heard Colton's voice. Hey, dude, how was it? You just went there. Basically, he's trying to paint you in a good light, but I know what you did, Colton. You went to a fucking competition where there's a bunch of chumps and stole their money.
That wasn't that much money, but yeah, I took some money.
Hey, I hope you're going to be ready for NorCal Classic because my boy Taylor's going to put it to you.
Dude, are you kidding me? I saw that stupid shit he programmed yesterday. He knew I was going to be here at this comp. He had Gabe give me some Cuban food the night before, so I couldn't wake up early and call in before the comp.
The conspiracy is real.
No, dude, I gave him food poisoning for real.
No shit. Like did you vomit, Colton?
Yeah, I woke up at like 2 o'clock and started puking and pooping.
Oh my, yep, that's food poisoning. That's crazy, dude. Oh my
Well,
god. How do you
here's the
food
thing, here's the
poison a
thing.
guy who fucking wallows in shit for 12 hours a day?
But here's the thing, right?
That's how
So,
dirty Cubans
Colton
are. They're dirtier than fucking Colton's pig farm.
Dude, we went to a really nice restaurant. He just isn't used to like the sazon and all the other stuff that Spanish people put into their food. But in all fairness, I also woke up at like 2 o'clock in the morning sweating and like having to take the most massive dump. So if that's me and I'm conditioned to Spanish food, I felt so horrible when he told me. I'm like, oh my God, is he gonna lose and not win this competition? Is he gonna like pass out? He looked dehydrated.
Oh, I'm sure. He probably lost 5 pounds. That's what's crazy about food poisoning. It fucking sucks you down. Hey, Colton, did you wake? You know that how you're like before you throw up, your mouth will start watering. Do you know that feeling? What I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Was it like that? Were you like just laying in bed and then you're like, oh, something's not right, and then you're like confused whether you should shit or throw up, like you're not sure which one you should do first?
Yeah, I started getting mouth sweats, but I was like in denial at first, and then it just kept getting worse. And like, okay, this is definitely happening.
Mouth sweats. Oh, shit.
So don't tell Taylor this, but when you guys go to NorCal, I'm gonna send you guys over Cuban food. And you don't need any. Colton doesn't need any. Just be like, oh look, Taylor, we got some Cuban food for you.
Hey, what's crazy
See what
is
happens.
in that footage, Colton, too, your back looks just shredded. Did you get sucked down? Did you lose? Did you like? And you probably didn't eat that morning either, huh?
I just had like a half a breakfast sandwich and some coffee.
Did it stay down?
Yeah, I wasn't puking anymore, just dehydrated.
Damn. What a great story.
Yeah, it was an interesting morning.
God damn, wild. Hey, Colton, when do you fly into Are you flying to Sacramento?
Yeah, I gotta book my flight still, but I'll probably get there like Wednesday.
Okay. I don't think send me a text and I'll send you if in case you get to the house before us. I don't think we're leaving till Thursday.
Isn't Taylor getting there like Tuesday?
He is, but I think he's coming to my house for a day or two.
Oh, all right.
If you fly into San Francisco, I could grab you and bring you. Just call me if you're going to make flights and you want to coordinate it. Let me know. If not, the thing is if you fly into Sacramento, you're right there. If you fly into San Francisco, you're really far away. You definitely want to fly home from Sacramento. You definitely want to fly home from there. But if you fly into any of the other airports, San Francisco or San Jose, we could figure something out and get you. But I think that I want to say the Airbnb we got isn't open until Thursday. And I think the event starts on Friday, right?
Yeah.
Do you know any other names that are going to be there? Right now, I know it's you and Taylor and Tudor.
I think somebody said Tim Paulson, maybe.
I think I spread that rumor but I think I was looking at the roster from last year. So I think that's how but maybe he'll be there again this year.
I was going to say, I can't lose to him. He's a proven coach.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that would suck to lose to one of the coaches, right?
I'd have to quit if I lost.
That's one of the rules of being a proven athlete. If you lose to a coach, you're out.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Bernie Gannon says the insulin isn't free. Kamala isn't promising that the price of insulin will drop. She's promising that it will be subsidized by the government. Oh, that means you're going to pay for it either way, Gabe. Sorry.
Oh, you know what the cool thing, and we briefly texted about this. I'm going to use code, right, just in case. But so delivery doctor, awesome, right?
Yep.
Really cool. African American lady, just typical. Like my midwives knew her, so they said, "Hey, she's amazing to patients, but she rules with iron fist." And like you could tell, like she was so good, but everyone respected the shit out of her.
Was she a foreigner? Was she Nigerian?
No, she wasn't a foreigner. Just grew up in the Bronx, like just parents, she did her thing. Really awesome individual. Like fuck, damn, if we have a second kid, which I hope we do, or third or fourth or 12th, she's the one. She's amazing.
Good.
And then
that's awesome.
came to the podiatrist, right? The pediatrician, whatever.
Yep.
Hey, how's it going? Nice baby. I just want to talk to you about putting these 3 mittens on your kid. And I was like, no, like not right now, right? We're in the C-section room, in the whatever operating room. The baby's about to come out. He's like, yeah, we'll just talk about it later. I really do recommend these 3 mittens that you put on the kid.
What are mittens? Like things that go on your hands?
No. Mittens.
Oh, wow. The one that you stick in someone with a needle?
Sure.
Wow.
Sure, that. So, and this is, the baby hasn't even come out yet. He barely just tells me what his name is. Okay, cool. Get out. They're putting mom back together, so I'm with baby at all times. Doing chest to chest. All the nurses come out. Baby came out 11 pounds, 7 ounces. So huge baby.
Wow, I think that might be the biggest baby I've ever heard of.
They've had one other baby at the doctor delivered him, sorry. Had one other baby that's been bigger.
Wow.
At I think 11 ounces, so almost 12 pounds.
Wow.
But he's proportionate, so I think he was like 24 inches. So still big baby.
Shit,
so he doesn't look like Colton. You said he's proportionate.
That's true. And that's why we couldn't deliver at home. The baby it was too big. So there's almost no way for him to come out naturally.
Colton was 15 pounds, by the way, when he was born.
And then he just hit a growth spurt 5 days in and just never grew. So afterwards, all the nurses are really, really cool. And then the same doctor comes back. Hey, I really do recommend these 3 mittens. And you can just tell the nurses, because I already told all the nurses what I wanted. Obviously, the delivery doctor knew exactly what we wanted. No mittens, nothing like that. And they were all cool with it. But this one doctor was just like, hey, I really do think you should get all 3. So I said, okay, you know what? These blue mittens, I don't think he likes the color blue. Okay, you know what? You're right. You shouldn't get the blue mittens, but you should definitely get the red and the yellow ones. Well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Oh, you're right. Definitely don't get the yellow ones or the blue ones, but the red ones you have to get.
Oh my God.
Well, and then the pushback. I'm like, I don't really think he needs red mittens. And then it was just funny seeing how his attitude changed, how he went like, you definitely need to get, and then I give him a little bit of pushback. And at one point I just had to say, hey, doc, I appreciate your opinion. I'm not going to put any mittens on. I'm the dad. So like, let's just get things clear. And then what kind of does suck, the baby was big, so they had to make sure they had to check his blood sugar. So every 3 hours they had to like just do like a blood test, which is fine. I was cool with that, because what happens is they take the baby, right? And they'll go, oh, we're going to go just measure and run all the tests and all that stuff in another room. I'm like, okay, but I'm going to go with you.
Right. And always stay with the baby. Always stay with the baby.
The doctor was like, what do you mean? I'm like, he's my baby.
That's my fucking kid, dude.
Yeah.
Go with the kid. And nothing to anyone, like, it's like, if you didn't, that's okay. But it was so weird the second that we went to like where all the kids go get like weighed and like their exam and I guess like a baby physical.
Yeah.
No other parent was there.
It was just me. Yeah, they're insane.
I was like, there is no way that my eyes aren't going to be glued to this kid like for forever at this point. Either myself or my wife are going to have eyes glued to this kid.
Yeah. Smart.
So we go to get him weighed and measured again, like a day later. Here's how fucked up it is. It's another doctor, another podiatrist, or the fuck whatever it is. Pediatrician, thank you.
They might as well be podiatrists, though.
Podiatrist is a foot doctor.
With how often they prick the bottom of the baby's foot, they might as well be a podiatrist.
True.
They did a lot. So after he cleared his check to make sure that he's not like diabetic and all that stuff, like that's it. Nothing else was happening to this kid. No mittens, no hats, none of that bullshit, whatever is going on. As we're leaving his like second day exam, the nurse goes, oh, no, hold on. I have to give him a mitten. I was like, no, you don't. She's like, yeah, the doctor said I had to give him a mitten. I said, look, we're going to go back to our room and no one's going to bother us. And you can tell the nurse that was transporting the baby how aggravated she was that she's heard us give the answer no already and already tell everyone no. And they kept on pushing. They kept on pushing. They kept on pushing. They kept on pushing. And it's just so aggravating, especially in a, you know, if someone isn't as, I guess, I won't say strong-willed, but if someone is
so many people are pushed into it, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just it's a little disgusting.
You know, Gabe, so for everyone they give, they get a bonus, but the hospital gets a massive bonus if they have like it's set at like 90%. So if 90% of the babies get the mittens, then they get another massive bonus. I knew a doctor who got during COVID, got a brand new home in Costa Rica and a brand new Mercedes, like one of those, you know, those things that look like they're retro, like they're SUV. And
the G-Wagon?
G-Wagon. And she got them all in a year from giving COVID shots. The huge bonuses she got from the COVID shot. It's absolutely crazy. Someone just sent me a picture of a screenshot in Target where if you took these 8 injections, you got a $200 gift card at Target, and the injections were free. It's absolutely nuts. Imagine they're asking you to permanently alter for the rest of your kid's life its immune system right after the day it's born. It's batshit crazy. It's batshit crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he came out looking like a linebacker, so I'm like, no, he's good. He's got hair. He's got probably more muscles than Colton at this point, and just ready to like kick ass and take names. And you're just, you know, spewing this like, oh, you need this because of this, you need this because of this, you need this because of this. And it's one of those things where you can tell they don't get a lot of pushback. We went to a really nice area hospital where, you know, it's usually that's how it goes. Again, I saw it firsthand when I was the only parent that was following. Like,
you're gonna start seeing, dude. You're gonna start going to kids events, and like I could tell. I mean, and you know, I'm open to being wrong, but I go to the jiu-jitsu tournament, and you can start seeing the kids that are different than your kids, and you'll start wondering, why are those kids different? What is going on? Why is that kid's foot shaped like that? Why does he stand like that? Why is that kid like tapping on the railing? Why does that kid's eyes look like that? You'll start seeing, and you're like, oh shit. There's so few kids that are just the fucking baseline. Like, hey, here's one that's just baseline. Here's one that just came out of the pussy, and that's it. That's all. That's just that's what a kid looks like and does. And I don't mean to float my own boat, but every time I go out with my kids, every time someone will come up to me and say something about them. Like I can't go fucking anywhere, and they just look like little fucking, you know, little Middle Eastern kids. To me, they're just like little fucking normal kids. But you'll see, man, like your kids will be doing nothing, and people will be like, man, your kids are so good. You're like, what? They're not even doing nothing.
Because it's out of the norm. And again, with that being said, like, hey, let's understand one thing. I had to go to a hospital. Like, my wife had to go to a hospital for my child to be born. She was so fatigued at home that we could have run the risk of something happening to my wife and the baby.
Yeah.
So it's not saying that like, yeah, like let's get one thing right. Like, hey, the hospital is there when something, and doctors are there for these type of moments. Like the moments where it's like, hey, something's going on. And even the doctor was like, hey, she said, I'll do everything in my power to make sure you have this kid vaginally and naturally. But she was just so exhausted that it's like, hey, we just need to.
The fact that you got your kid, the fact that you got your kid home and healthy is all that matters.
Yeah. At the end of the day, even the doctor, I told the doctor, hey, this is exactly how it was supposed to happen. It wasn't the way that we wanted it, but hey, that's not how life works, right? We all go through things, and you know, when all that happened at the games, we spoke about it briefly, and people reached out to me for my opinion. I was like, hey guys, I'm sorry. Like, no, I got bigger fish to fry. My kid is overdue. I got a wife that's like freaking out because she doesn't know why the baby isn't coming yet. And I was like, I don't have time. like, it's fucked up to say it. I just didn't care.
Hey, what are you doing?
My priority was,
what are you doing with Colton now?
we're probably gonna go have. I almost said something very inappropriate. But I'll say it anyway. We're gonna go have gay flat sex.
Oh, nice. Are you is it at the airport in the prayer room? Hey, is he going home? Colton, are you going home?
No, I'm staying in New Jersey.
Oh,
I'm just gonna stay here.
For how long?
You're just gonna let Allie take over the farm and sell all your wieners, huh? You're just gonna leave her to it.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got it.
Dang.
Are you going home?
What do you mean?
Like, what are you doing right now? Like, why are you still there? Like, I picture you as the guy, like, they hand you the paycheck and you've already called your Uber and you're on your way to the airport.
I'm freaking gonna go to the cafe, dude.
Oh, to Paper Street Cafe.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, you should pay Gabe back by taking a fat shit in his toilet, testing the
but hey, if you're an athlete and you hear that Colton made it all the way out to Jersey and everything, this is take notes.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. I love it.
To establish a good relationship and everything. Yeah, we're going to the cafe right now. I'm gonna introduce him to a little dish we like to call Taylor ham, egg, and cheese, or bacon, egg, and cheese on a bagel. New Jersey staple.
Wow.
And just hang out at the coffee shop for a little bit.
Colton, you should get something on the menu named after you.
Iron Hog.
Yeah.
We could definitely work on that. And also,
that'll be fun listening to people order that, Gabe, listening to just people. I'll take the Iron Hog. Would you like a large? Yes.
We gotta figure. I mean, it'll be like super small if you want the Iron Hog in standard. It'll be like a 8-ounce drink or something. But it was super cool. I think one of the cool things, and I wish like a bunch more quote unquote athletes really like take into consideration what Colton did this weekend, where they it was so cool seeing everyone's reaction to him. It was so dope. Like, people were genuinely excited, and there was no barrier. Like, it was just him, and you're able to talk to him, and you're just able to like, it was really, really cool. And seeing all the people that support him and also support the podcast. Like,
oh, that's awesome.
It was really, really cool.
I love it.
It wasn't just oh, hey Colt. It was hey Colton. I love the whole thing.
You think it goes to Colton's? You think it goes to Colton's head? Like, he's gonna go home and just like treat Allie like shit and like stop cleaning the pig pens?
Never. Right. Definitely not.
Because there's this cycle. There's this cycle that successful athletes go through. I don't know if Colton's immune to it.
Dude, I gotta wake up on Monday morning and go get covered in pig shit. So I think I'll be
all right.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
All right.
And one last thing, hey man, Sevi, thank you, because without you introducing me to BIRTHFIT and honestly making this whole process of having a kid and giving me knowledge and giving me just the awesome people that helped through our birth, like,
awesome. That makes me so happy.
Not everyone uses them, but you definitely should. It's not just about working out. No, they give you the mom resources. They even give the dad resources. I had no idea that like a dad could have his own doula either, just to make sure he doesn't freak the fuck out. So it was really, really cool. And I appreciate you even fucking the second I told you I think you were literally the first person I told that I was having a kid. So you can get me in contact with BIRTHFIT. Like, I didn't even tell my parents. I didn't tell my sister, my friends. I was like, hey, I just need to ask Sevi for further information. And you were so generous and kind, and so were they. So
yeah, Lindsay Cantu's the shit. She's a smart woman. And you're right. It's a good environment. There's no judgment if you have the baby in a hospital or whatever you do. They're just there to fucking give you the resources. And so if you want the resources, honestly, then they're going to give them to you. They're going to help you out. They're going to be like, and like you said, like, you did end up going to the hospital and they probably gave you the tools. Like, hey, you probably knew in advance the doctors were going to ask you 20 times. And they're like, hey dude, just keep pushing back. If you don't want it. And it worked out for you. Great.
Sevi, the doula that they recommended came to the hospital with me and she just waited in the waiting room for hours.
Oh, the duel of the BIRTHFIT recommended to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome.
So cool. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but she was
so she was always there,
amazing.
and just knowing she was there was a great resource, right? You could run out there and be like, they said this, this, and this to me, and I said this, and she's like, attaboy, get back in there and fight, Gabe.
Exactly. She has her own opinion. She's just there to make sure that I'm making the right decisions and I'm comfortable. Even if she might have thought my decisions were wrong, she still made me realize, like, hey, make sure that you are comfortable with that decision. You and your wife are comfortable with that decision moving forward, and it doesn't matter her opinion or anyone else's opinion. So that's what I'm saying. BIRTHFIT is like a bigger resource, and I hope that, you know, everyone that has the ability to use them, and even if you don't, like, really think about this as like, hey, this is a valuable resource for, you know, the 9 months leading up to birth and also past birth. Like, it's crazy. Definitely, like, fuck, man, they're amazing.
Awesome. All right, dude. Thank you, Colton. Thank you. Have fun. Don't drink too much coffee. Take a fat shit in his place.
I'll talk to you guys.
Okay, bye.
Later.
Colton Mertens, Gabe Maldonado, owner of Paper Street Coffee. 2 locations, one in Jersey and one in Nashville. At the Proven headquarters. I thought this was interesting perspective. We all know that we were in Fort Worth, Texas, where Lazar transitioned from this plane to another.
Lazar died.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Lazar died, sorry. Lazar drowned. Had an event where his head went underwater and wasn't seen again for 2 hours. That led to his death, which is his body was no longer animated like ours.
Right.
Heart stopped and brain stopped. August 12th, just a few days after Lazar died, Fort Worth officer working a crash killed by a wrong-way driver. Police say a Fort Worth police officer died Monday after being hit at the scene of a fiery crash on Interstate 35 West and Sycamore School Road. This is just a couple days or maybe the day after Lazar died. I can't remember the exact day. While working the crash, the 56-year-old Sergeant Bill Randolph was struck by a driver who drove through the crash scene at about 5:30 a.m. Randolph was taken to John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth, where he died from his injuries, said Fort Worth police. Sergeant Randolph had been with the department for 30 years. I've been here 24, and I don't know the department without him, said the Fort Worth police chief, Neil Noakes. It's going to be a hard day every day from now on as we mourn the loss of one of our brothers. So this guy has been working with this guy for 24 years every single day. And this guy got killed. He got to go back to work the next day, though, right?
Yeah.
Officers lined the driveway and saluted as the police honor guard escorted Randolph's body from JPS Hospital to the Tarrant County Medical Examiner. Think of all the people losing their shit who didn't even know Lazar, but they're just part of this community. But for some reason they have no compassion for cops who fucking sign up as to take care of society and get rid of the bad guys.
Yeah.
The accident occurred when a tractor trailer exited southbound Interstate 35 West onto Sycamore School Road, and at about 2:30 a.m. hit the guardrail. The tractor caught fire and spilled fuel, which shut down the exit and service road, according to the report from the Fort Worth Police Department. While working the scene, Randolph was standing on the freeway's exit ramp when a driver drove the wrong way.
How does that happen?
Up the ramp and fatally struck Randolph, according to police. Well, the PFAA had signs up all over saying don't drive up the ramp the wrong way.
Right. Okay. So that shouldn't have happened, right?
Right.
That should make it safe to drive on the road at all.
And I think
all the time.
And I think the CEO of whatever car company that was driving that should be fired, driving that car. During a press conference after the crash, or whoever gave him a driver's license, the head of the Department of Motor Vehicles should be fired.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he passed the vision test at the DMV, so he should be good.
Yeah. During a press conference after the crash, Randolph's relatives shared details about his death. Today, we lost a good man. We lost Billy, a faithful husband, father. Anyway, it's right. This shit's just everywhere. Driver, now identified as 25-year-old Day Awali Evans of Fort Worth, has been charged with intoxication manslaughter causing the death of a peace officer or firefighter. Evans remained behind bars. Her blood, that's a girl. Her blood toxicology, no, women should not be allowed to drive. Her blood toxicology results should take a couple of days, Noak said. If she would have had a provider, if she would have had a real provider,
maybe a father figure,
he would have made sure that she had a driver. I don't know many times we have to say it. There's no excuse for drinking and driving, said Noakes.
Wow.
But you know what? That cop probably had white privilege.
That's right.
There you go. Just to put in, that happened in Fort Worth a day or 2 or 3 after Lazar died. Those are the things that are happening all around us.
That's true.
So what are you gonna do? Sucks. I at the jiu-jitsu tournament, there was a police department that had like a booth set up. You know what I mean? Where like I guess you could go over and like anyway. So I say it again.
Like a border patrol does it at CrossFit events and stuff.
Yeah, I assume it's some sort of I assumed it was recruitment effort. Yeah, thank you. Yep. That's important. And I walked over and I said, "Hey, dude, what's up?" I met him and I said, "Thanks for everything you do. I appreciate you. I have 3 little boys, and cops are so important to keeping the streets safe." And he goes, and so we shake hands and I meet him and he tells me his name. And then as I walk away, he goes, "Hey," and I turn around. He goes, "I love your podcast."
Nah.
Yeah.
Fucking liar, dude.
No, not lying.
No way.
You don't know how tickled I was. I tried to act humble. I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Oh, you know about my podcast?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. Wow. Oh, yeah, weird. Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
Dan Guerrero, Seb on finding articles to justify Dave staying as director. Ha! What's my laughing emoji?
I think you're projecting, Dan.
Yeah. Dan, do you think I found that article? What do you mean by find? Do you think like I searched in Google Fort Worth deaths?
You probably just Google reasons to maintain Dave as director of the CrossFit Games, and then
yes, I asked AI.
Articles.
Yes,
that's right. You're right. ChatGPT probably came up with an article for you, and they said, "You know what? This is exactly why Dave should maintain his position as director."
That's almost accurate, but I typed in, "What would Dan Guerrero do?" I asked ChatGPT, "What would Dan Guerrero do to justify Dave staying?" And it said, "Find officer death in area within a week."
Holy
that's
shit!
What, and then it said, that's what Dan would
do.
Yeah, yeah.
AI is so advanced, dude. We're all fucked. If AI keeps going, then Dan's gonna run the world, and we're all gonna be obsolete. You know.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's crazy, dude.
So, what can I do? I spent hours. I have a team of lawyers working on this, trying to figure out.
Yeah, right.
How I can defend Dave. Yeah.
Just makes sense.
Lucky me. Where I need to erase that from my list. Who took your protection from you? Oh, freedom of speech. No. My body, my choice. No. Where the fuck is that? Guzan. No. Systemic racism, DEI, California, Tim Wallace. I like fat women. Oh, this looks interesting. I like fat women. I wonder what this one is. Oh, did I already play this? Fuck it, I'm gonna play it again. This is so good. I'm gonna play it again. Fuck it.
I am a chubby chaser. I do have to say it's not too much of a chase. You have some snacks, you're good. I love fat women, And let's be honest, what really happens when women get fat? When men get fat, we lose our dick and then we die. When women get fat, you get more tits, more delicious. You can never put too much syrup on a pancake, you know what I'm saying? I love fat women. I like an Adele 2016 with that juicy pussy. I don't want no skinny Taylor Swift dry. You can tell Taylor has that rice cake. You eat Taylor's pussy, it feels like you swallowed cinnamon. I love fat women. They're fun. They don't have any stupid rules. I don't eat after 6. No. A fat bitch, you put a donut in her mouth, a dick in her ass, and c'est la vie. I am a chubby.
Oh my God, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Sorry, couldn't be me, dude.
Yeah, little therapy, and you could get on. Me and you could get on the same page.
It's gonna be a lot of therapy.
A lot of therapy for Caleb before he understands the old donut in the mouth. This so-called reporter from the Washington Post just had the audacity to ask Karine Jean-Pierre if the Biden regime could interfere and block Trump's interview with Elon Musk. It's weird what's okay to say out loud now.
Elon Musk is slated to interview Donald Trump tonight on X. I don't know if the president is going to tune in. Feel free to say if he is or not. But I think that misinformation on Twitter is not just a campaign issue. It's an America issue. What role does the White House or the president have in sort of stopping that, or stopping the spread of that, or sort of intervening in that? Some of that was about campaign misinformation, but
Here's the headline. Most Americans favor restrictions on false information. Should the U.S. government, not private enterprise, take steps to restrict false information online, even if it limits freedom of information? 2018, 39%, 2021, 48%, 2023, 55%. The government.
How the fuck do people think that that's okay? Who are those 55% of people?
We just want to know what's right and what's wrong, Savon. We want to be told.
What do they think happens if we lose freedom of speech?
Nothing. We just know what's going on, and we just understand better, right? We know that, the vaccines work, and it's just women's reproductive health.
We're close to where if you say I love Jews, that it will be. We're already there with. We're already there if you say I love white people, that somehow that's racist. That's
yeah, of course.
That's a white supremacist. We're almost at the point where if you say I love Jews, that means you hate Palestinians, and that would be construed as hate speech. I didn't even think of this. We're already there. If you say fuck, I love it when we have if you were to say I love it when we have a strong white male president, that would be construed as some sort of white supremacy and some sort of hate speech.
Well, it's just like saying if you don't like fat women that you're sexist.
but also, I keep bringing the fat women up. I like fat women. But it's also, but the whole entire DNC was I like Kamala because she's black and a woman. So it's just this double standard of shit is crazy. David Weed, I hate Jews.
Wow.
Yeah. How should that be outlawed? Now, I understand if you were to say, I think that there is something around, I think there is some definition of hate speech, like if you rally people to go hurt other people, that's bad. And so that's the leap they're making, that if you say, I hate Jews, that somehow it's going to cause someone to go to a temple or wherever Jews go on Sundays or Saturdays, that you're somehow going to incite violence. I don't think you're allowed to incite violence.
Okay, well, what's considered inciting violence? Saying that you hate Jews, or asking people to show up to a temple and graffiti and break windows?
Yeah, like exactly. I mean, I think I can't imagine a world where you're not allowed to say I hate Jews or I hate black people or I hate white people. You should be able to say you should be able to say all that shit. And the problem is, here's the problem. So everyone knows, I know I'm preaching to the choir to you, Caleb, but the problem is this: there's going to we're already at the point where saying, like, if you outlaw hate speech, then the person who's in control of what hate speech is controls all of us. And so things like I love women will at some point become hate speech, because then basically what you're saying is someone's going to take that as you hate transgender women. That's how delicate we are in our society. Like, there's a whole there's a whole cohort of people out there now. I just found out about them, that if you say, I think I'm going to say this right. If I were to say to Gabe, "Oh my God, your baby's so beautiful," Gabe would be offended because when I call his baby beautiful, I'm doing something that's called reduction something, or I'm reducing the baby to just its looks, and so they're offended. That's where they want to take the world. That would be hate speech.
Or like, because it's a boy, it should actually be handsome and not beautiful.
Right. Like somehow you're sexist if you call the boy handsome.
Call the boy beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. Continue, Mr. Dennis.
Should restrict free speech if they say it's false information on the internet. The United States of America, the freest country in the history of the world. Now, one other little piece of data. Among Democrats and those who lean Democrat, 70%. Among Republicans, 39%.
I don't think you can be a Republican and think that and believe in the concept of hate speech. It's like being a Christian and thinking that abortion's okay. I don't think you can do that. I think you have to have your card taken from you.
Your Christian card?
How is the entire platform that they're running with democracy and freedom and all that shit that they keep saying over and over, and they're against freedom of speech? Where do these people live? I've never experienced these people. They're here in California. I know, it's weird, right? Dude, I have so many friends who are still juicing their kids to the gills as soon as they're born. It's nuts.
I wish I was juiced to the gills.
CrossFit was misinformation 20 years ago. That's correct. It was.
True.
That's
That was 20 years ago? Fuck, that's crazy.
Dude, Greg used to get death threats for telling people to squat below parallel. Is that fucking nuts?
Does that seem bizarre? Now it's like common knowledge, like you have to squat below parallel.
Yeah, it's nuts. He used to tell stories that where he couldn't give people nutritional advice at Gold's Gym in the gym. He had to walk them out to the car and slip it to them in a manila envelope. And it was crazy controversial to be low carb. Hey, what if they made RFK head of the CIA? 20 years ago, we killed, or 30 years ago, we killed your uncle and your dad. Today, you run the organization. Would that be fucking crazy, dude?
Yeah, it would be. I wonder if I just saw a video about what happened in Vegas in 2016 or 2018 or whatever.
Yeah.
And when I had also saw that in congruence with RFK becoming the head of the CIA. I just wonder if that were to happen, if they'd be able to like release all of the information about that stuff.
What's the premise behind that? What so I understand that like they're saying that it was more than one shooter, but like what's the theory behind that? Was the one where the guy shot into like a country music concert from like some hotel room and killed with all these guns?
Right.
Why is there a conspiracy behind that? Like why what was that? What was the point of that?
I'm not exactly sure what the theory is, but I know that they were saying that there were multiple shooters across like a broad distance on the strip, and that it was but the story was being told that it was just one guy with a bump stock in a like one of the hotel rooms, like elevated.
Yeah.
But when you listen to the videos, it's like they were trying to spin it as like, oh, we're trying to get rid of guns or bump stocks, or we're trying to like
oh,
the media
so that was
it was like supposed to be a gun control thing.
Oh, interesting.
That's how I understood it, but I could be very wrong.
Because like, you know, like they say, and I don't mean to misrepresent flat earthers, but one of the thing with the flat earthers is, if I understood correctly, is they believe the earth is flat, and they believe that the reason why it's hidden from people is they don't want you to know that on the other side of Antarctica, there's a whole nother, you know, there's tons of resources. And that they don't want to give us access to those resources. We're like the slave people, and they're like the wealthy people have access. So that's the reason. So what you're saying is the reason why they did that shooting was so that they could outlaw guns as a step to outlaw guns.
I think so. That's kind of how I understood it. And then, but in reality, there's like a map that this guy laid out where it shows 911 calls, autopsy reports with locations of deaths that basically span like a mile of the strip, and
Right.
probably 5, 6, 7 different hotels.
And I saw like there was a shooter in another hotel.
Right. They're saying like, oh, there's another shooter in the lobby. There's all sorts of stuff.
As I hear that, I start justifying it. I'm like, well, of course you saw someone else in another lobby with a gun. They heard gunshots and pulled out their gun.
That's kind of how I see it.
Like
too.
I start going there and making up excuses.
I imagine how many people in Nevada carry, and I imagine how many people come from outside Nevada who are also carrying because they're in
Right.
Vegas.
Uh-oh, Starlink. Your Starlink froze. One of the satellites went behind the moon. One of your satellites went behind the moon.
I think, am I back now?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay.
You want to hear the truth about guns?
Yes.
Okay, here you go.
I'm surprised. Listen to this.
You want to hear a really wild stat, though?
Yeah.
We are at 193 countries, I believe we are number 3 in gun violence. Okay? But if you were to take the 5 cities where there is the most gun violence, Chicago, Philly, I think Houston, Chicago, Philly, Detroit. I don't know if it's LA, but I think it is LA.
Just share numbers.
Yeah. Right. So it's all these cities. If you take out the cities and they all have the strictest gun controls. So it's St. Louis, Detroit, it's Chicago, it's Philadelphia, and I think it's Los Angeles. And they have the strongest, the very, very tight gun laws. Keep in mind, they are blue. I'm just saying, not, but if you were to take them out of the equation, we would not be the 3rd, we would be the 189th.
Wow.
That's pretty significant.
I'm not even surprised. Listen to this.
You want to hear?
If you take St. Louis, listen to all, by the way, listen, all this is important for any idiots, but also foreigners. So when you realize, like, when you see all this stuff in the news, like, this country is massive over here. And there's places you can go where, like, none of the stuff we talk about on this show is like a reality at all. But if you took St. Louis, Detroit, Philadelphia, Chicago, and LA out of the gun stats, we would have the 3rd fewest gun deaths or gun violence in the world out of any country, for a country that has more guns per capita than any other country in the world.
Crazy.
And it's all blue states, and it's all states or all blue cities, and it's all cities that have the strictest gun control. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah.
You said how many people live there? I mean, I don't know. Let's say St. Louis has, I'm making this up, 2 million. I think Detroit's dropped below 1 million. I think Detroit's like nothing. Let's just give it 1 million. Let's say Philly has 3 million. Let's say Chicago has 10 million. Let's say LA has 16 million. So I'm going to guess, my guess is 26, 29, 30, 32 million people between all of those. It's 10% of the U.S. population. That's fucking wild, isn't it? That's some suspicious math given all the other cities with a fair amount of gun violence. Yeah, dude, but like there's nothing like Chicago, right? I mean, you get Chicago and LA. Jake Chapman, so if you take away 32 million people. Jonathan Ortega, in Georgia, there's a town where you can't live there if you don't own a gun. Oh, like that's one of the requirements to be a citizen of the town.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. In our town, you don't have to take the vaccine to live here, but you have to own a gun.
Which would you rather be mandated to do?
Yeah. How close am I to my population guesses? I'm gonna look up.
St. Louis is. I just looked up St. Louis proper, and it's 286,000.
Oh, really? That's it?
Metro,
I guess
the metro, like including the metro, I think it looks like it's 2.8 million.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that. So I guess 2. What about Detroit? I gave it 1 million, but I heard Detroit's like at 500,000. I heard it's like nothing.
Detroit's at Detroit proper 620,000.
Okay.
Metro population 4.3 mil.
Oh wow. Okay, we'll go with the whole metro 4.3. Okay, how about Philly?
Philadelphia, including the metro, it's 6.2. Philly proper is 1.5.
Okay, so I had let's go with the biggest numbers. So 2.8, 4.3, 6.2. That one I had at 3 million. I've been off by at least 50% on all of them. Chicago, I guess 10 million.
Chicago is where is it? Why is it not giving me that? 2.6. It's not giving me the metro.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 3.
Okay. Yep.
And then what about LA? Like LA County, I guess 16.
LA County population is going to be 9.7.
Okay, I'll go 10. Okay, so that's 13 plus 10 is 23 plus 3 is 26. I guess 32. Okay, 26 million people. All right. God, I know St. Louis is crazy. Every time I haven't been there in 10 years, but it was crazy when I went there. North St. Louis is literally a jungle. Yeah, St. Louis
Usually
is
I
nuts.
just drive through there. It's not really that, or I don't really see anything, but I've always heard it's pretty nuts.
Yeah. Bernie Gannon, since the Department of Justice changed the requirement, only 63% of police agencies now report crime data to them. Wow. New York City and LA no longer report missing data as now current admins say crime numbers are down. Holy shit.
It's like saying COVID numbers are down. It's because they're not reporting COVID.
Good times. I bet you gun sales are through the roof. I bet you more guns have been sold in the last 10 years than since the fucking Civil War.
I need to go buy more.
Did you hear about this town in Massachusetts that's doing curfews again?
For what?
You're gonna love this. This is where my 3rd grade math kicks in like crazy. Residents in Massachusetts town are now being urged not to leave their homes after dark due to the spread of a deadly mosquito-borne virus. This is what's the date on this? 3 days ago. The Board of Health in Oxford, a city of 13,300 people, about 50 miles southwest of Boston, has set an outdoor curfew in hopes it will reduce the chance of people being bitten by mosquitoes which carry the Eastern equine encephalitis, Eastern equine encephalitis, EEE.
Virus?
Is that encephalitis? Is that brain swelling? I think I remember Greg telling me that.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds right.
It comes after a resident was the first human to contract the rare and untreatable illness known as triple E domestically in nearly 4 years. So one person has caught it in 4 years. And by the way, those of you who don't know, Massachusetts is like the mental health capital of the world. Like everyone there is crazy. It's probably like an epicenter, that state of Boston and Massachusetts, of the brain virus. Like I bet you they're probably they probably have given out more boosters there than anywhere on planet Earth.
The Massachusetts Air National Guard has the most violations of most security violations than any other National Guard unit. That's what.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
One guy defected to Russia and is now fighting in Ukraine for Russia. And he was, come to find out, he's actually trying to escape CP charges.
What's a CP?
Child pornography.
Oh, fuck, of course. Wow, CP. Wow. That's scary when that's entered the vernacular. There's so much child pornography, it's turned into an acronym.
It's fucking nuts.
Triple E causes fever, brain swelling, can lead to seizures, comas. 1/3 of the people infected with. Now listen, here's where the math. Listen to this math. So one person's gotten it in the last 4 years, but 1/3 of the people infected with EEE die. Okay, I want you to remember that. What they just said there.
One person in 4 years.
But 1/3 of the people infected with EEE die, and those who recover are often left with lifelong physical and mental difficulties.
Okay.
It comes. Okay. Is there a continue reading? Oh, continue reading. They have a curfew there. It's not a requirement. Yeah, just like masks weren't a requirement. 1,000 Oxford residents have signed a petition to keep playgrounds open. Blah blah blah. A memorandum clearly states that all private town leagues can continue to opt to play beyond the DPH recommendations. Those jointly opted by all four, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The memo also states that a horse infected with EEE in neighboring Connecticut has died from the virus. There were 12 human cases of EEE in Massachusetts in 2019. That was 5 years ago, outside of the 4-year window that we talked about earlier. In 2020, there were 5 human cases and 1 death. So that means now we have a problem with the math. Now it's 1 in 5 die.
Yeah.
When earlier it was 1 in 3.
Yep.
Okay, so we have some problem with the math there. There were no cases of deaths in each year from 2021 to 2023. So even to get 1 in 5, do you remember when they said COVID, only 80% of the people showed, what's it called when you're sick and you have manifestation of the sickness? Non-symptomatic. 80% were non-symptomatic. Like, that was never talked about. Hey, 80% of you fuckers walking around got it and you're non-symptomatic. EE symptoms typically begin within 4 to 10 days of being bitten by a mosquito. Now listen to this. For approximately 33% of the people with EEE who die, death typically occurs about 2 to 10 days after onset. For approximately 33% of people with EEE. So that's, of that 1 in 5, 1/3 of them die within 2 to 10 days. Do you see that? How crazy the math is getting?
Right.
For 33%, I mean, 30. I don't even think that's what this person who wrote this meant. I think they're just confused. For the approximately 33% of the people with EEE who die. So we already know it's 1 in 5 who die. So if it's 33% of the ones that die, it's you would need at least 15 people to have it, and one of those would usually die 2 to 10 days after getting it. A record 38 cases were reported in 2019. Well, let me go back up here. There were 12 human cases of EE in Massachusetts in 2019. 6 people died. I guess down here we don't know. It says 38 cases in 2019, but we don't know what states they're referring to. Okay. So you got all that information. You're scared shitless. You now live in Massachusetts and you're hiding fucking inside. But here we go. It even gets the math gets even weirder here. Here we go. We're getting back to COVID math again. Here we go. There isn't much information about the number of eastern equine encephalitis infections worldwide right now, but here's some information about EEE. In the summer of fall of 2019, 9 U.S. states reported 36 human cases, with 14 of those cases being fatal. So now we're like 1 in 3 again, 1 in 2 point something. In 2022, there was 1 case of EEE. The U.S. typically reports between 6 and 8 cases of EEE each year, mostly between May and October. Most common places are Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Wisconsin, and Jersey. The case fatality rate is 30 to 50% of survivors experience neurological something. There's no cure. We're back to tracheal intubation.
Wow.
It's believed that the EEE infection provides lifelong immunity against reinfection. How's that?
Say that.
If you get it and don't die, you have lifelong immunity.
Oh, wow. So if you're, what is it? 1 of 3? 1 of 4?
There was something, though, that said that somewhere I read that, EE is rare, but very, fortunately, only 5% of EE infections result in EEE. So that's like a weird, that fucks with your math again, too.
That even...
Whatever it is, it's like it's fucking so minuscule. Say
But-
that to the person who dies, Sevi.
We should shut down everything.
Oh, what a mess.
Super cool.
Jake Chapman, Sevi, my daughter wants to know how long left the show has as I'm ignoring her and she wants my attention. Thanks. How old is she? Give her a box of like fucking crackers or something.
Crackers. Cut up a banana for her.
Yeah, it's something like that. 30% of the 1% that actually gets it. It's something. It's
Oh, okay. There you go.
yeah. Tell her 7. Oh, perfect. Yeah, tell her. Yeah, give her an iPhone. Have her get in the mix.
Have her put a Lego set together or some shit.
Yeah.
That'll take about an hour.
I'd be-
60% of the time, it kills every time. That's right.
Even CNN knows what a complete fucking shit show the DNC is. It's just a fucking complete joke.
Jake, there weren't a lot of fact-checkable claims tonight, period. But let's
There weren't a lot of fact-checkable claims tonight, meaning she didn't say shit. No one at the DNC said shit.
look at some comments Vice President Harris made in her big speech. First, this claim about former President Donald Trump and abortion.
As a part of his agenda, he and his allies would limit access to birth control, ban medication abortion, and enact a nationwide abortion ban with or without Congress. And get this, he plans to create a national anti-abortion coordinator and force states to report on women's miscarriages and abortions. Simply put, they are out of their minds.
First of all, I'd like to say, shouldn't everything that's being done in hospitals, like, shouldn't there be some data being kept somewhere, especially if you're killing babies?
Yeah.
Don't they keep the data now already? But anyway, no reason to argue retard points. Here we go.
This is kind of cleverly framed, Jake, as a prediction, which I cannot definitively fact check, but VP Harris at least left out some important context here. What she did not explain is that Trump has either not taken those positions during this campaign or explicitly rejected those positions. He has not called for an anti-abortion coordinator. He hasn't called the 4 states to report miscarriages and abortions. He has explicitly said he will not restrict birth control. He has not taken a clear position on abortion medication. He has said he will not sign a national abortion ban, and he has at least haltingly said he won't enforce an old law called the Comstock Act to ban abortion without Congress. So where is the vice president getting this stuff? Well, almost all of it is in Project 2025, a conservative think tank's list of policy proposals for a next Trump term. It's true, of course, that dozens of former Trump officials were involved in.
Are we going to find out that Project 2025 was a fucking bullshit plant by the Democrats, that they wrote it? You know what I mean? Like the fucking Russian dossier. That
what's the most extreme things that the Conservative Party can do, and we're going to write it all up and we're going to frame it as if that's their position.
It's fucking, but it's crazy when this shit's on CNN.
That is wild. I'm surprised that they haven't like cut him off or something.
And I don't want to be a dick, but this guy doesn't look like he's laden with testosterone. This guy's like, that guy could put a wig on and he's fuckable.
Maybe
you know
he's Clark Kent, you know, he's take the glasses off, take the suit off, and he's just this rip shredded fucking testosterone-laden behemoth.
In Project 2025, but it is not Trump's own document. Now let's play something Vice President Harris said about the Supreme Court's recent decision on presidential immunity.
Consider the power he will have, especially after the United States Supreme Court just ruled that he would be immune from criminal prosecution. Just imagine Donald Trump with no guardrails.
I call this a needs context too, Jake. It's fair for Vice President Harris to generally warn that the Supreme Court ruling gave presidents more power, but it did not grant Trump or anyone else total immunity from criminal prosecution. What the court did say is that they have absolute immunity for acts within their core constitutional powers, presumptive immunity for other so-called official acts, but also ruled there is no immunity for unofficial acts. And so Trump can theoretically be prosecuted as president or after a future presidency, and in fact is still being prosecuted right now, of course. The court hampered but did not kill that federal election subversion case that's still ongoing against him. Jake, there weren't a lot of fact-checkable claims tonight.
It's fucking nuts. It's more fear. They just scare you. We're going to scare you so much.
But you got to vote for her because she's a black woman.
Yeah, right. How about the fact that, now I'm thinking that those are the two things. You have to vote for her because she's a black woman, and you have to vote for her because you're scared of Donald Trump. That's like the only two issues that they have. That's like the only two things that they have going. Everything there is their fucking identity politics. It's wild. It's amazing also that they keep saying that the economy's great and Biden and her did a great job, and yet they need price fixing. Like all the things that she's claiming she's going to do is going to fix the economy, but you can't also then say that the economy is good. You can't have it both ways. You can't fix something. You're not going to fix something if it's good.
I saw something. I don't know if she said this, but I saw something that said that Kamala said that she's going to do better than the last administration.
Yeah.
But you are the last administration, so
right.
What do you? If you're not doing it now, we say, why do you think you're going to do better in the next few years?
When I get into office, Miss, you are in office. You
right
you fucking are in office.
Yeah, exactly.
More CNN. It's crazy. They even know they're losing their. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're turning on her or what they're doing.
There's one other issue, if I might, something he does that is so weird to me. The constant attacks on J.D. Vance for going to Yale. I don't understand this. I've heard Walz proclaim to be a small town guy who wants everybody to get an education and succeed. And he spends a fair amount of time attacking J.D. Vance, who grew up poor and got an worked hard to get an education and rise above his station in life. And he has used it as a punchline on the campaign trail. And I don't understand what he's trying to communicate to every small town poor kid out there, saying, if you choose to work hard and go to an Ivy League school, you somehow abandon your hometown. I don't get it.
Speaking as one of those small town kids who actually went to Yale,
yes,
I do take exception to that. I think you are correct on that.
There's this thing when you're raised as a Democrat, I know that they tell you that the Republican Party is just for the rich and that the Democrats are just for the poor. And then finally you wake up one day and you realize, oh no, the Republicans want everyone to be rich. The Democrats want everyone to be poor. Like they criticize people for their fucking success.
Yeah.
Instead of celebrating it. It's fucking wild.
But they're successful. So, but they did it the right way. They did it the Democratic way. I don't know.
Brad Schneider, why should we care about anything on cable news? The thing is that's not cable news. That's Instagram. This shit's all over social media now too. It's just taken over. It's all. I don't even know if I don't even know if you can distinguish anymore. It's one giant blob. It's more cohesive than ever now. You're defining my mom right now. It's exhausting. I know. It's wild, right?
Yeah.
There's
cool,
there's this hatred for people who work hard and who are successful when they should be celebrated. We started the show with it, talking about Heber and Mars. Instead of thanking them, someone's upset that somehow like they're excited that they're making a piece about Lars's death. Lazarus. Is Caleb using the gas station headphones again?
I don't know. Does it sound better now? Maybe it's because I have my air conditioning on.
Cuomo calling out all the rich people at the DNC was something else. Yeah, all the people in the $500,000 boxes, $1 million, $2 million boxes.
It's crazy.
Bernie Gannon, when Trump debates Kamala, will he cite policies and facts or just wing it, nicknames, etc.? He needs to prepare. I have to assume JD Vance is going to fucking completely obliterate Walz. I mean, anytime he says anything, all you have to do is just bring up his stolen valor, his drunk driving, his lying about IVF. Man, this guy is a piece of shit.
Yeah, I saw the whole thing about how he's claimed he's had combat deployments, and it's like, dude,
that's pretty bad, right? Guys, like,
yeah,
you guys don't do that stuff, right? You guys don't let shit slip out of your mouth loosey-goosey like that?
no. If you've done it, you've done it. If you have not done it, you do not inflate what you did do.
Right.
Like, everybody knows. You can read people's records, like their DD-214, which is like their discharge paperwork, or you can read their like citations, because I think some of those end up being public, but like you can read where people have been stationed, what their jobs were, any sort of orders that they had, and you can tell, like, hey, that's bullshit. You showed up, you were a guard guy and you got deployed to California for a hurricane or something. Like, you're not enabling combat deployments. You're not enabling people to go fucking kill bad guys. You're not, like, there's a difference, and you can tell.
And if you were like, were you ever deployed to any natural disasters?
No, I have not been deployed to natural disasters.
You have not. But if you were deployed to a natural disaster and someone asked you if you've ever been deployed, would you be like, yeah, we had to go do Katrina? I was deployed to Katrina.
I would not say I was deployed. I would not consider that a deployment.
No, but okay. But
I would say, like, oh, I assisted with Katrina.
All right.
But, like, my deployment is when I fucking went to the Middle East and hung out there for 7 months, and like, that's a deployment.
And you're going out and if one of the guys gets decapitated, your job's to run out and get his body and bring it back.
Right. If somebody's X-ray machine is broken, I drive up there with my X-ray guy and we fix it together.
Like to an unsafe spot?
Yeah.
Did you have a gun there?
No.
Everyone doesn't get a gun?
Not everybody, no.
Was everyone? Did you always go out with a guy who had a gun?
No.
You guys would go out with guys who didn't have guns, protection.
Right.
When you went and got the guy, how far was the guy you had to get who died in the decapitation incident? How far was he from the base?
Probably 45 minutes away.
On a dirt road?
It was safer. It was relatively paved.
Just a wonky road. Like basically just like a strip of concrete in the middle of a fucking desert. Does it have a line in the middle?
No.
But it's two-way traffic. I know the road. I can see the road.
Yeah.
And did you guys have protection when you went and did that? Does another vehicle full of dudes with guns and a fucking Gatling gun? No?
No, it's considered a safe area. So you just go out there, you know.
Oh shit. Oh fuck that.
But
well, this 2006.
What?
But that's the difference, you know. Like, I'm not not telling you anything outside of what factually happened.
Right. But like National Guard dudes will be deployed to like Katrina or something, like when there's a hurricane or a massive earthquake or
or the border stuff.
Oh, the border. Would you say if you were deployed to the border, would you call that a deployment?
Probably not, but I'm sure some people do.
Yeah. Not. What if you got in a gunfight with the cartel? Then at least you could say that I wasn't deployed, but once I got
gunfight with the cartel.
But you and I have friends who have both been deployed into Colombia.
Yeah.
That's a deployment.
Yeah.
Because you're going there to look around and sniff out bad guys.
Right.
campaign falsely described details about his arrest for drunk driving. They go into details about the 0.128 level when the legal limit was 0.1. And they go so far as to say the field sobriety test was due to a misunderstanding to hearing loss from the National Guard. They also claimed Walt was allowed to drive himself back. None of that was true. So you know it's bad when CNN has to call you out on this.
These integrity issues, these integrity questions are going to pile up and up and up. It's going to get worse and worse. And you can ride these numbers, they're in a bit of a surge, but at some point you're going to have to stand up and answer questions. And I'm just really wondering what that's going to look like as this pile on continues.
Tim Walz's 2006 campaign falsely described details about,
I don't know, makes him kind of relatable. Fat, low testosterone, drunk driving motherfucker.
Yeah. That's sure. Yeah. It's just a regular guy.
Jonathan Ortega, deployment all depends on the mission, and that's what determines how you talk about it. I think what Caleb is basically saying is like if you're not leaving the fucking country or going somewhere on some sort of like mission, you weren't fucking deployed.
Yes.
Right? I mean, you went to a place where dudes were cycling in and out and you were one of the cycles, right?
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like
there are people who got tasked to assist with like mass vaccination during COVID. And like on paper, that's a deployment. And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I deployed to New Jersey and I helped like vaccinate people." And you're like, "No, dude, that's not how that works. You stayed in a fucking hotel and you got
although you may have killed more people, although you may have ended up killing more people than any other soldier in history."
That's right.
Oh man. Oh, here's another fucking great one. Here we go. What do you got for me, Blondie?
So Hillary Clinton deleted 30,000 emails. Hunter Biden is a crack addict with hookers. Joe Biden sold access to the US government to Chinese communists. Pelosi is rich from insider trading. Stephen D'Antuono of the FBI staged the Gretchen Whitmer Fednapping and January 6th. Mayorkas allowed the invasion of our border. Epstein's clients walk free. Dr. Fauci lied about funding gain-of-function experiments that created the COVID-19 virus. Pfizer and Moderna lied about the safety of their mRNA COVID jab. Andrew Cuomo killed 11,000 elderly people in New York. Planned Parenthood sold aborted baby body parts. Shall I go on? These people are all walking free. And yet, Trump is the one who's convicted for paying his attorney. So Hillary Clinton deleted 30.
It's wild, right?
Crazy.
Even if only half those things are true.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Oh, she does have a weird haircut. Hey, doesn't it look like right here? I don't know if you're going to be able to see this clearly. Doesn't it look at this part of her hair right here? Can you see this right here where this hand is? Doesn't it look like she just took some scissors and just chopped off like a lock?
Yeah, it looks like that. Maybe that's her bangs. She just like swept them off to the side.
Oh yeah.
It is weird though. Oh God!
Oh, look at
this
this lady. Oh yeah, let's look at this one. So, oh God, where do you get your facts? We don't get facts. We spend every bit of our spare time doing research that leads you taxable evidence. We can I want to see if she writes anything else. What's her name? Midi. Not CNN. Give us one of yours, all the details. Oh yeah, I want to see if this Midi chick replies again. I was in a conversation with someone and I told them about the $5 million hotel that gives away free alcohol with our taxpayer money in San Francisco. And this person's like, God, it's so weird how much you believe that the media says now. Where do you get your facts? And I'm like, well, you Google it. They're like, what should I look up? I'm like, what's your favorite media source? And they're like, the Washington or the San Francisco Examiner. I'm like, look it up. And I didn't even know if it was in there. And they look it up and there it is. They're like, oh shit, you're right. Like, yeah.
No shit, huh?
I'm glad to be getting to this show. There's so many. I just have to. What's this one? Uh-oh. I don't know if I can do this one. Oh. Oh, I thought it said Gazan. It says Gazans. Wow. I never even connected those two together. Gazan, Gazan.
Oh, shit.
She's a Gazan. Hi. Did your brother leave? Oh. Okay, listen to this one. This one's great. Here we go. Brace yourself, people.
New data reveals Australia is granting significantly more visas to Gazans than almost the entire world. The Labor government has approved about 10 times as many Gazan visas as the United Kingdom, New Zealand, and the United States combined. Gee, I wonder what could possibly go wrong when we import thousands of people from a place where the vast majority support terrorism at a time, by the way, when our National Security Agency warns of probable terror attacks. You know who's not taking any Gazan refugees? Neighboring Egypt and Jordan, or any other Arab nation for that matter, who just happen to share ethnicity and culture with Palestinians. It's like they know something we don't. I wonder what that can possibly be.
How fucking crazy is that? So I don't think anyone's arguing that they've done a bunch of surveys in Gaza, and it's basically like 86% of the people there believe that there's no two-state solution. They believe that Jews should just be killed. They believe that the October 7th attack was just all that shit. That they, you know, I think it's like over 90% believe that like all gay people should be killed. Everyone's seen those videos. They have no tolerance for any of that shit. And yet, Egypt and Jordan won't take those people, or any other fucking Arab countries.
Weird.
It's fucking way weird.
It's all. I mean, I know
It's
Jordan,
way weird.
Yeah. They're already getting quite a few refugees from other countries too. So I mean, they have like full-blown camps.
Oh, you mean Egypt and Jordan? Like they're getting ready? Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so and now they have a country that's like, I mean,
how do they protect their border? I don't understand. Like, I don't understand.
With fucking 240s and guard towers.
Oh, and just shooting like you if you cross. It's like if you cross into Egypt and they don't want you, they just shoot you dead.
Yeah.
I mean.
Hey, man. Weird.
What do you guys want to do? You want to see the champs? You want to see? Talk to Caleb real quick. You want to tell Caleb about your jiu-jitsu match? Okay, go put the headphones on.
I want to hear about it.
Are you sore? Oh, he said you're not sore? Oh, your neck is sore? You want to sit down next to Ari and tell us about your jiu-jitsu match? Oh, dude, do it. Come on. Have you ever even been on the show before? You have? Joseph's been on once before? Okay, go ahead. How was the match yesterday? How many matches did you lose? Who'd you lose to?
He turned up his
Oh, sorry. Take two. How are you feeling?
Good.
You sore?
Yeah.
Where are you sore?
My legs, my quads, and my right arm, like my right forearm.
Why do you think you're sore? You train so much. How could you be sore?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Why is one arm sore and not the other?
I don't know.
How do I forget how to what do? I do share camera, extra camera. Oh, there we go.
What?
I'm bringing it. There you go. Oh, can you scoot over that way? There you go. That a boy. Okay. How many matches did you lose yesterday?
None, but the ref did something a little weird.
And who were you wrestling? The one the ref did weird.
Joey. So I lost one basically.
So Caleb, what happens is they're in these brackets and they both start winning, and then they met in the finals, both in gi and in no gi. So it's just the
Joey won in gi and I won in no gi. So we both got silver and gold.
So they're in the finals of the gi match, and Ari was winning 3-2.
No, Joey was.
Oh, Joey was?
Yeah.
Oh, Joey was winning 3-2. Sorry. And the clock ran out. But because it's a 3-minute match, but the ref didn't stop it. And the crowd's yelling, it's over. But he didn't stop it. And it went a whole nother minute. So they kept out there fighting. I know, it was weird.
And then they gave me an extra 5 points and put down 1 for Joey.
So then he came over after the match and they said Ari had won 5-2 when Joey was winning 3-2. So how did Joey lose a point and Ari gained 3 points? So what we think happened was, so they declared Ari the winner. They gave him the gold, but Ari's like, hey, I think they messed up. So he took his gold off and put it on his brother's head.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I took
Dang,
the
what a
silver
war.
from him.
And he took the silver from Joey. Yeah, it was cool.
Hell yeah. That's awesome, dude.
I didn't cry. Did you? I didn't cry at all yesterday. I was chill, right?
I don't know. You think I'd be looking around at you? Definitely no.
He's going to war, man. He's whooping ass.
Where are you sore? Point to the body parts where you're sore.
Here, like here.
Bicep, calf, and your hip.
And like here, yeah.
Both your
And
hips.
like here, yeah.
You think you're injured or just sore?
I don't know. You can. Mom said she can take me to Marqueta's just because she has an appointment there, or you can cut me if it's sore.
I can do. Oh, I could cup you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you want me to cup you today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could do cupping. Joe, you want cupping? You want to cup Ari?
He can cup me. You can cup me too.
I wonder if there's any. I wonder if I'm ever hurting my kids when I cup them. I'd cup the shit out of them. You know what cupping?
Me, you did it to me, and I couldn't even roller skate.
Oh, the next
Remember?
day I
Yeah.
cupped you. Oh, do you guys want to go roller skating today? The 3 of us?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, let's do that. That'd be dope.
You're welcome.
What do you mean you're welcome?
I got you the idea.
Oh.
You're welcome for inviting you onto our roller skating.
Who's gonna pay for it? Oh,
I can pay for it.
all right, fine. Well, thank you
If you
then.
want to pay for it.
I'm
Dang,
good.
You got that tap to pay or what?
I don't have a credit card, but I can pay for it.
I don't have any cash.
I do.
Hey, you armbarred a kid, and you felt his arm pop yesterday. Her.
But yeah, it was like, I'm like, oh my God.
You used the right pronouns, by the way. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
No, it was a boy.
It was a boy.
It was a girl. You remember when I had that arm really deep?
I saw you held an armbar on a kid for like 30 seconds, and I just couldn't figure out why the ref wasn't stopping it.
Oh, on that boy? Oh, that wasn't deep. That's the kid I had the arm bar. I switched to the back though and choked him out, and the ref stopped it.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, and I snapped I popped that girl's arm.
Say that again, Caleb.
Why didn't you secure the arm bar? I saw that. What's going on there?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Caleb has a question. Why didn't you secure the arm bar? But first of all,
I
before
knew I couldn't get it. It was too lazy. I couldn't get it.
and then so you just jumped to the back.
Yeah, I got up again, took a double leg, and then took the back. But I didn't get in my hooks. And
Hey,
but that was okay.
But tell me about when the kid's arm popped. Did you stop when you heard it pop?
No.
No?
Because if I stopped, we would keep going.
Did the girl scream when her arm popped?
No, she was silent for the whole time.
I heard you you told me after the match, you said, hey, I felt that girl's arm pop. And then I remember when you got home, like 8 hours later, you're like, I think maybe I was bathing you in the shower and you said, hey, I can still remember that girl's arm popping. Like it really like left an impression on you.
Oh my God. It hurt. It just sounded so bad. It was like
Where did it pop? The elbow? Or
the elbow,
shoulder?
the elbow. Well, more on the yellow. Well, of course the yellow, because I had the armbar. I went to belly down and then to a regular armbar.
That was a quick match.
Yeah, that was a quick match. It only lasted like a minute, something like that. I
How
had
long
two.
are the matches? 3?
3 for us it's 3. For Avi it's 4.
Hey, who was your hardest match?
You could probably guess that.
Joey? Like way harder than the other kids?
Dude, that's the only kid I lost to. So yeah.
All right.
Well, the guy that I almost had the armbar with, he was up by 2 points, and then I got scored 2, and then I scored another 2, and then choked him out.
And
he took you down right away, didn't he?
What?
Did he take you down?
Oh yeah, he took me down once, and I took him, and then I don't forget. I forget how I get those other 2 points, but.
Here's the part I don't understand. You jump to his back and you take his back, and then you try to get your hooks in and you got the rear naked choke in there. Why didn't he tap?
Oh, I feel the same thing.
Why didn't he tap? Like why did the ref stop it? Are you not squeezing him hard enough?
I was squeezing him hard on my butt. That's how I got my bicep hurting.
From squeezing his neck so hard?
Yeah, I'm like. And look, you'll see him stop it. Keep it going. You'll see him stop it if you filmed it all the way. Wait, keep it going.
That's it. I filmed the whole thing.
Oh, that's it?
Didn't you see the ref stop it?
Yeah, the ref stopped it right there.
No, but no, this is no.
I think
so that's Joey. That's Joey.
Okay, this one right here.
Yeah.
You jump, you take his back, and now you've got it sunk in so deep, right?
Yeah, I think I can't really see, but.
I mean, you can't see.
I can. Oh yeah, it's deep.
It's deep. Is he pulling hard down on your arms, like for dear life?
Yeah, for dear life. Yeah, you'll even see him stop it. The ref doesn't want to stop it, so he doesn't get.
Why didn't the kid tap? You weren't squeezing hard enough?
He probably doesn't want to lose. He really wanted that. He really wanted that. He really wanted to fight for gold.
He did.
I'd be desperate to fight for gold.
He wanted to go against Joey. Are you glad the ref stopped it?
Yes.
What do you think would have happened if the ref didn't stop it?
I'd probably win because I was up by 4 and he was down by 2.
Would he have gotten out?
Probably not. I had a deep choke, but I was struggling to get my hooks in.
And you needed to get your hooks in because that's how you get points.
Yeah, if I'd even get the choke, that'd be bad. Because what if he scores 2, and he still could have won. But I'm glad I got that choke.
I'm glad you did too. All right. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Welcome.
Joey, do you want to say anything? No. Joey, let me ask you this real quick. How many tournaments have you been to?
Count your medals.
No, but how many tournaments has he been to? How many tournaments has Joey been to?
Yeah, you have to count your medals.
No, because he's been to lots of tournaments where he didn't get medals.
Oh, yeah.
You think he's been to 10 tournaments?
More than that.
12?
I've skipped a few.
Skipped a few?
You skipped a bunch. You're at like 7 or something.
Let me ask you this.
I done 10.
I think I think that every tournament you've ever been to, you've cried. Is that true?
Yes.
Now this only one.
Yeah, and then I sprained my wrist and got sick.
Now listen. Let me tell you the story I'm telling my friends. I'm telling my friends that every tournament you've ever been to, you cried. This tournament, you were happy, you were excited, you were jumping up and down.
No, not every tournament. Some tournaments.
Quiet, don't ruin my story.
I don't care.
And in this tournament, you went there and you were pumped and you were stoked and you just went out there and kicked ass.
Because he was with me.
You didn't even seem scared. Not even a little bit.
I was a little frightened.
What happened? Was that because I'm a great parent and I was patient with you? Oh.
Because he went with me.
Oh. Oh, neither of those is true? Get on the mic and tell us what happened. What was the transition you went through?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He said these people looked easy.
So you sized up your competition and that was the... Oh, man. All right. I love you. Good job. Good job on the gold.
Hey, Heidi, after the rolling, can we get a treat?
After the what?
After the rolling.
Oh, we're not really going to the roller rink. I just said that for the show.
I'm starving. Can we go somewhere?
Yeah, let's go eat. All right, Caleb, thank you. Thank you, everyone. We're going to eat. Who do we have on the show tomorrow? We have a great week coming up. I think we have I'm trying to get Facundo on. I'm trying to get Rich Froning on. Oh, we don't even have anyone scheduled tomorrow. We have Greg Glassman on Wednesday. Who do we have Tuesday? Oh, we don't have anything. Oh, we don't have anyone scheduled. Oh, Thursday we have the guy Kieran Riley, who won the silver medal in the Olympics on BMX, coming on. Friday we have Kill Taylor from Italy. Whoa. Yeah, we better get someone on. Next week is $1,500. You know Colton's chomping. God, I hope Colton doesn't win it next week.
That would suck.
Yeah.
I want to get back up to $2,000.
Because it's fun when the prize money gets big.
It's fun when
Didn't
people
we
lose.
get it to $3,000?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the highest we've gotten is $3,000.
In the Navy guy won?
Yeah, Matthias Porter. He's a EOD tech.
Look at you. Giving love to your people. Today's my birthday. Steaks and beer for me. All right, cool.
No.
Hell yeah. Happy birthday.
My birthday.
All right. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for everyone for jumping in. Remember, head over to the Buttery Bros Instagram account. Thank them for all their hard work. Tell them to not hate the haters. I can't wait till their video comes out. Yeah. I'll add you to the list of people I stomp on your dick for this show.
Heidi.
What?
Is this toe gonna be here forever?
What do you mean?
The pointy toe.
Oh, yeah. He dropped a barbell on it when he was a little kid and chopped off the tip of his toe, and then it grew back like a cone. It definitely should have taken him to the ER for stitches. Like, it was just like the tip dangling, and I just taped it back on.
You can use super glue for a lot of things.
Dude, I'm glad you didn't take me to the ER. I'd be screaming my head off.
Now you got a pointy little toe.
I don't care. I like it.
I like it too.
Pointy toe too.
Now I know my right and left. That helps me a little.
Oh, really? Is that how you distinguish your right and left foot? One with pointy toe? Oh, that's awesome. That's good shit. All right, guys. Talk to you guys soon. Caleb, thank you. Ari, thank you. Joey, I love you.